Ahoy, landlubbers, it's me, your Captain Vasco speaking, and I welcome you to another Friday, and another, perhaps final, installment of Murder by Numbers. I think it was last week we hit A rank, and what that means is, on this game's grading scale, at any point, if we continue to solve all of our puzzles without using in-game hints, the game could end if we hit S rank. That will be the thing. So I don't know when that's gonna happen, because obviously this is my first playthrough. If that's not obvious by almost the end of the game, I've probably done something wrong. So what did we accomplish last week? Oh, what a great question. Why don't we, go into the game to, achieve the less loud music and try to answer that question. Less loud. So, look, it's Jack Nicholson, sort of. It's off-brand Jack Nicholson. It's Mac Dickelson, probably. I feel like story-wise, we did it like nothing happened. We were in this laboratory the entire time. And the things that we post... Can I go into the question menu and try to get access to the list of puzzles we've solved? There's no court record in this game. It's Phoenix Wright, it isn't. Okay, Jack. Okay, no, that's just the plot. I found the plot button. So, I'll try to summarize the best I can without specifically remembering every single puzzle we completed. We found, a bunch of evidence that they're trying to build new weapon scouts here in the office. And, honest to God, that's basically it. There's just, a lot of versions of that. I mean, some of it was more specific. We found, a row of CRTs, and that puzzle just definitely looked like Ditto's parents fighting. And we concocted the plan where Scout was gonna, power himself down, and we were gonna, wait for Mac Dickelson here to show up and, kill us? And I say it that way because we really didn't have much of a plan. We found out that he was tracking us to here, and then we're like, well, guess I'll just die. We had an argument with Jenna, who has since been taken hostage by Jack here. And she insisted that we, not involve the cops at all, which seemed like a great plan, considering that plan A was stay here and die. And I can't stress enough that, we don't have a real plan. The plan is to, just death awaits you, as Seymour would say in Final Fantasy X. That's the plan. Just well, I guess we ran out of nonogram puzzles and we have no reason to live, so might as well wait for Jack Nicholson to come with a gun. And if it seems like I'm being hard on the plot, I am, because what? It made no sense to me. I can't believe there was actually any amount of conversation that's well, the only plan is to stay exactly where he knows where to find us, have no way to defend ourselves, or, attack him in any meaningful way. And, of course, we've also brought the thing that he most wants in this world that will probably ruin the entire world if he gets it, because he'll just create an army of angry flying VHS tape players. So, yeah. I feel like the plot's gonna come at us fast, and we'll go from there. I have to admit, I'm actually impressed. It's a shame you won't get to see this little investigation of yours through. So okay, now we have all these clues, and so few of them are important at all. So I think last week we got the prototype puzzle, which we found, differently colored scout bodies. After the previous week we found scout blueprints. That's actually a pretty cute image to have solved. Then we got, a pager message saying that he knew we were here, and then we solved the puzzle to find the tracking device in a business card we got, literally an entire case ago. And then here's those CRT monitors we're hiding in. Oh, we got a tape recorder at the end. So we're gonna get, a cassette recording of him shooting us with a gun, and then hope that if and when the police ever come here to investigate and find our bodies, then they'll find this evidence and retroactively get justice for us, I guess. I don't know. Hey, ahoy, Miss Toasty. Welcome to the stream. You're just in time. I was recapping. But we're basically in a standoff here with this Jack Nicholson lookalike. and we don't have a plan. So whatever's gonna happen, you're gonna find out just as soon as I do. What do you want, Jack? You know exactly what I want. Where is it? I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you do. That robot that's been hovering over your shoulder all summer. Hand it over. So you can take him to pieces? Yes, that's a thing that an English-speaking person would say. I don't know, is that a Britishism? So you can kill him? So you can unalive? So you can disassemble Johnny Five? He's just a robot. He's not alive. It's no different to stripping a car for parts. Even if I knew where Scout was, I wouldn't tell you. It's simple. Either you tell me where he is or Jenna dies. You idiot, you overestimate how much I care about this goth scientist. She's actually been kind of annoying the entire time I've known her. Do not listen to him, Honor. Shut up! Is Leith gonna kill me too? Is this one of those, if you give me what I want, I'll kill you situations where neither one of us have really thought this through? You gonna order some Leith goon to kill me like Frank and Lori? Such a shame how all that ended. I hired Lori myself. I gave her a chance. I trusted her, and she let me down. It's good that he's specifically incriminating himself like some sort of James Bond villain. That's very good. How's everyone doing? That's a great question, Miss Toasty. I'm doing okay. And I know there's a weird emphasis in there, and I couldn't explain to you exactly what it is, but I think it's accurate. Doing okay. Hope you're doing well this Friday. Did I hashtag date this live stream? It's Friday, June the 16th, 2023, just in case I didn't. It's very important. You never know what thing I'm going to say that sounds ridiculous or prophetic in hindsight. I know that years from now, someone's going to be like, I want to see a weirdo in a Darkest Dungeon shirt beat Murder by Numbers. But, like, that's so niche. How will I find it? And then eventually, if they search hard enough, they'll find this video. What are you talking about? Also, I forgot what we were talking about. Our system logged her accessing Frank's file. She was going to sell me out to the cops. I thought she joined Leave because she shared our goals, but it was all just to chase after the ghost of her brother. Such a disappointment. Her brother? Nani? Oh, I thought you were a better detective than that, Mizrahi. Well, I have some bad news for you, Jack. I've been riding shotgun here with Honor Mizrahi for the entirety of this game, and I think I now have enough data to confidently state that she is not a better detective than that. Regrettably, no. Unbelievably, no. Ocean says tonight's dinner was 2 full meals between birds and Kane's chicken. Was that like a taste test? Was this part of the mandatory wilderness outing you mentioned earlier? Did you have to trek to a Kane's chicken in the woods? Her last name wasn't Becker, it was Pritchell. She was Frank's sister. I guess her vetting process for new employees isn't quite as good as I'd like, but that can be fixed. Hey, I gotta say, as much as I enjoy giving Honor a hard time for being a bad detective, if you run a security company and your background check for new employees can't root out someone using like a last name alias, which I guess like multiple people in your organization have done, I kind of feel like you're also like pretty bad at your job. Chicken sounds good. When doesn't chicken sound good, Castle Art? I could pretty much always go for some chicken. That's why I've spent like a calendar year trying to lose weight. She found out what happened to her brother, so you ordered Hyde to kill her, just like he killed Frank. Hyde didn't kill Frank. Lori, yes, but Frank? Nah, Frank was different. He had one job. One job! And he messed it up so badly, I've still got the LAPD breathing down my neck. Nah, I took care of Frank personally. Just to make... Just so there's no loose ends at the end of this case, I'm saying this into the tape recorder. I'll actually step closer while I say this. I personally took care of Frank in a very visceral sense with my handgun. We left Hyde for the police. Yeah, I think we did. Did we tell the police where to find him? I don't actually remember that step of the process. We left Hyde tied up and unconscious. Once the police start interrogating him, you're through. I mean, he might just not say anything. Also, I don't know. I guess I see the angle she's trying to play here. I just don't expect this to work at all. I was wondering what happened to him. Not a problem. He'll never crack. The Marines trained him well. You ever see the show Barry on HBO? Either way, he's gone. Your empire's crumbling around you. I mean, in the sense that he seemingly had 3 employees and basically killed them all off. How melodramatic. Must be all those years you spent in TV. Hyde was just a soldier. They're not in short supply. Besides, once my prototype is finished, I won't need people like him anymore. We found the prototype. It's sitting over there. I know what you're trying to do, Jack. We found the prototype. Really? What did you think? It's not quite ready yet, but it'll be the perfect soldier. Agile, ruthless, immune to harsh environments. It'll change the world for the better. It's like literally made of like a gum wrapper radar antenna and like a VHS tape player. Like, there's absolutely no way this thing is immune to harsh environments. You send like a fleet of scouts out into like a snowstorm, and then you just have like an electronics graveyard. Better, it's deranged. You've designed a killing machine. Do you think those killing machines will have like preset kill limits like the killbots in Futurama? Oh god. Typical Holly weird liberal, so short-sighted. Just imagine it, an automated drone able to infiltrate high-security compounds, adapt and improvise, and engage any target with pinpoint accuracy. I mean, I feel like he's overstating this. I'm still not entirely sure how we got away with, like, Operation Balloon Camouflage. So, like, just this notion that Scout, this very fragile, like, just to be clear, even canonically in this game, Scout got hit with one bullet one time and, like, practically stopped functioning. Now, I'm not saying that he should be bulletproof, but I'm saying that Jack makes it sound like you could just send these guys out into, like, a battlefield and, like, dominate. But, like, they're pretty susceptible to bullets, just like people are. I mean, you prevent a loss of life, but, like, at best it kind of feels like an expensive lateral move. You could bring down an entire regime without dropping a single bomb. Think of all the lives it could save. All at the cost of several dozen bombs. That was not the reason we created Scout. You can help people without having to kill. You did always lack vision, Jenna. That's what I'm here for. It's not too late to stop. People have already died because of this project, but it's not too late to stop. You mean Tom? I regret what happened that day. You regret not having someone to make your weapon for you. You're right, plus we pushed Scout too far. Too soon, modifications were unstable and the consequences were unfortunate. For your project, you mean? You do not give a darn about what happened to Tom. Don't push your luck. One more word out of you and you're dead. I already have a prospective buyer for the new prototype. You can't stop what's already in motion. Where did you get the money? I could use some money. I lost my job earlier this summer. Rebuilding this lab can't have been cheap. I feel like just we've made some weird assumptions this entire time. Like, the lab was probably mostly intact, right? Like, Scout didn't explode, he shot a guy. Obviously, it was a tragedy. A real tragedy, that's all it was. But, like, there's no reason to think they had to rebuild this from the ground up, and they keep talking like they had to. It just seems weird. And just everything at this point of the game seems weird. It doesn't do me any good to harp on it, but, like, it just feels like I have a big head and tiny arms, and we really didn't think this through.
Picture an egg.
Picture an egg, that's exactly... Where do you think Lead Security isn't a charity? Wasn't enough to murder 2 of your employees, you had to funnel Lead money into developing killer robots, too? I mean, it's kind of like a investment for the company. 2 lives is a cost worth paying for technology that could save millions. Would it, though? That money is tainted, Jack, and it's linked to murder. Okay, I feel like we're making the wrong argument. I mean, I haven't known Jack all that long, but I feel genuinely 100% certain that he could not care any less about the potential morality of this situation. Why a metallic hexagonal floor? Perhaps they were working on a prototype for some sort of sky town to evade, like, a post-apocalyptic world with unbreathable atmosphere, where the gravity is weak enough that you could perhaps spend, like, 1 bezel to perform a hero action and jump, like, roughly 80 feet into the air. Also, when the police find out, your whole project is finished. They won't find out. You think I don't know what you're trying to do? You're stalling. I'm telling you, I don't know where Scout is. It's very plausible. Can we do anything else? Maybe a little pressure will persuade you. You've got 5 seconds or Jenna dies. 5, 4... Quick, try diplomacy. Can't we talk about this? 3, 2... Please! Jack! 1... Stop! Stop! Well now, was that so hard? Scout, what are you doing? He will kill you. If it means you and Honor are safe, I don't care. Come with me and they're free to go. You have my word, the word of a killer who was just threatening to kill them, has no morality, and has never developed any sense of honor or trust with you. He's lying! Scout, no! Dun, 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 dun. You and I are gonna do great things together. Let them go. Fine, just like I promised. Now, one last thing. I need to see if you're still working the way I remember. What do you mean? Scout, assault mode override, code J386. Guys, the Operation Data Shunt failed. The only thing we've been trying to do for like half of this case failed spectacularly. I'm not surprised, just disappointed. This isn't a unique problem to murder by numbers, but this is a thing that I have noticed more and more in media of basically all types that's been causing me an increasing amount of frustration. And that is the fact that, like, there are a shocking number of people interested in telling a story about an investigation that don't have, like, any sense at all about how to write a story about an investigation. Like, I don't know if different people wrote different cases in this game, but cases 2 and 3, like, aren't murder investigations, like, at all. Like, in case 3, like, they hand you, like, a mountain of evidence that your ex-husband is involved in something duplicitous. But, like, you don't discover it or figure it out. Like, you're supposed to, like, follow leads and accumulate clues and piece together things without having the whole picture. And then, typically, some final piece of evidence or clue or insight will suddenly, like, change your whole perspective about the case because you finally figured it out. But, like, that does not happen at all in cases 3 and 4 in this game. Like, people just, like, tell you stuff, and then you do nonogram puzzles. Like, the story just, like, completely falls apart. And then, like, on top of that, in order to try and sell you on the fact that you're, like, solving a murder mystery, they, like, make Honor, the player character, just absolutely, like, pathetic as a detective. She's just, like, completely, horrifyingly incompetent. She, like, always picks, like... She's like, literally, like, Fred in the series... The pup named Scooby-Doo, which is obviously like a prequel of sorts to Scooby-Doo. The notion being like the Scooby-Doo gang knew each other as very young kids and Puppy, and like they just solve extremely low-stakes crimes. And like on that show, Fred is constantly convinced that their like frenemy, Red Herring, is responsible for everything that's ever happened. So like, with no evidence at all, he's like, I know it was Red Herring this time. And obviously it's like a pun and it's a joke and it's meant to be stupid. But like, basically the same trope applies here played straight and it's infuriating. So, I bring this up now because like, okay, I guess maybe we're changing tracks and it's not really an investigation. It's like a suspense thriller about whether we'll stop this bad guy from creating an army of robots. But we had literally one job and it failed spectacularly. Yeah, exactly. Red Herring killed JFK and Caesar. A2 Red Herring. I think I did like scary robot voice for assault mode last time. Assault mode engaged, awaiting orders. You didn't really think I was gonna let you leave, did you? I hate loose ends. Targets acquired. The heck, Jenna? I thought you disabled his weapons. Scout, shoot to kill. Shoot to kill confirmed. What? What are you waiting for? Shoot them. I can't. You stupid piece of... You did this, Jenna, but you won't get in my way again. Oh, okay, and she got shot. He just shot her just then. I mean, like, it's all character portraits and stuff. You might be forgiven for not catching that immediately, but, like, she's bleeding now. He shot her. Look at that. There's, like, consequences to something in this game. Imagine if he did and credits rolled. I mean, honestly, I'm not even sure I'd put that outside the realm of possibility. I'd put it at, like, not likely. But until I witnessed it myself, I wouldn't have ruled it out entirely. We're so far off the rails, Demolition. Jenna! Oh no, Robot Goth Mom has died. No! Scout, I am so proud of you. Jenna, I could have stopped him. I am sorry. It is... Okay, Scout. You made the right choice. They did a great job with the emotion on Scout's face here is very good. But I didn't make a choice. I made you disable my weapons. If I'd just been stronger, then... I am the one who should be apologizing. I never installed that patch. You have free will, Scout. Half of this case has been a total farce. The power to choose, I couldn't take it away from you. So, I could have protected you? I could have killed Jack? Do not sink to his level, Scout. I built you to fly. I don't know if this makes me a bad person. I kind of want those to be her last words. That just kind of seems like a weirdly nice sentiment. Jenna, please don't go. I still have so many questions. There's still so much I don't know. You will find the answers, Scout. I believe in you. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. 'Tis a far, far better thing I do now than I have ever done before. Just a series of soliloquies. I got here as soon as I could. Too late. Jack's gone. Are you okay? Anyone hurt? Well, there's sort of a lady corpse on the floor, regrettably. The anime sweat drop feels like wildly inappropriate for this moment. Is anyone okay? It's Jenna. She's... Well, out with it. What happened to Jenna? Is she having, like, acid reflux or something? We have to go! Scout, maybe you need a little time to... No, this has gone on long enough. We have to stop Jack now before it's too late. Stop him? You don't even know where he went. You heard what he said. His prototype was funded with Leith money. It's linked to 2 murders already. If Jack is funneling that cash into whatever he's doing here... The police could shut down his entire project. He would lose everything. That feels really optimistic. If I were him, I'd be trying to destroy any record of those finances. Which means he must have gone back to Leith offices. I'll call it in. We can have a SWAT team there in 5 minutes. No, I have to do this myself. For Jenna. My god, we make the worst decisions. I mean, as partners, we're a perfect fit for each other because we both just want to, like... We're just, like, desperate to fail the case. Out of the question. It's too dangerous. He won't risk hurting me. He needs my components. Is that what we're calling them now? Oh, no. He's a computer. That's fine. That's fine. We could use that to our advantage. I hate to admit it, but he's right. This could be our only chance to bring Jack down without a fight. I'd rather have him in handcuffs than a body bag. But you... I could take care of myself. Narrator. She could not. Alright, I'll give you a chance, but if there's even a hint of trouble, I'm coming in after you. Is that like a meta moment? Like if I use a hint in the last puzzle, then he'll shoot me with a gun? Legend of Honor said he needs my components. Then we'd have a problem for sure. Okay, apparently there's a puzzle here. I kind of thought we wouldn't get a puzzle until we hit Leith. What kind of puzzle is there gonna be here? God, is it gonna be Jenna's corpse? It wouldn't make any sense, but for some reason it feels like something that would happen. Scout, why did you scan Jenna's corpse? Oh, right. There's actually puzzles in this game, huh? I don't remember how to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's a lot of ones, but that's not enough ones. What's happening here? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I mean, I get something out of this. That's a given. Topmost version. Looks like this. Bottom would be 1, 2, 3, space, 1, space, 1, space, 1, 2, space, 1, 2. Yeah, so I only get that one. That sucks. Am I on for next week? Yeah, next week's fine. Next week is 23rd, 24th. It is the next weekend. I will not be streaming. If we do finish this game tonight, I don't immediately know when I'm going to stream next week. I had hoped to stream Mechabellum because that game is rad, and it would be a super great excuse to play it more if I played it on stream. But that was the thing I was trying to test today, and boy, oh boy, oh boy howdy, did my computer not love it. Like, it was just so funny. Like, just trying to, like, pan around the map, like, I was, like, losing, like, half my frame rate, and then, like, it would just, like, be frozen somewhere on the field, and then, like, snap to where I had moved to, and, like, every single time I moved the camera, it, like, desynced the webcam from what was happening. I'm like, this is, like, a worst-case scenario. This, like, basically couldn't get any worse. Incidentally, the more times that, I experience, like, desync issues on Disco Elysium, I think the closer I get to understanding their cause. But every time I get closer, it feels less and less like something I have any control of, which is deeply frustrating. We got this, we got a 171, huh? This is a weird place. Let me check something. Is it possible? 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's plenty of space for that to be the 1 and not necessarily part of the 7. So we'll do it like this. It'll be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. Or 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So our overlap on the 7 should be these, having subtracted 4, which was like the difference. And in each of these columns, there are only groups of 1. So I can mark the space on either side of those blank. 3 and 6. Is 3 and 6 enough for something? I feel like that's not highlighted. Whatever, I think it is. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. 3, 4, 5, 6. So, yeah, it seems like if I had to guess, I would say that at the end of this game, the puzzles are really carefully designed to have a lot of rows and columns where you will get, like, exactly one space you can solve early on. So, like, you end up with these, like, weird, scattered collection of individual spots filled in. And you just have to reach a point where you have enough of those to reference off each other. So 7 out of 15 is, like, just shy of having overlap. But that does mean that over here, where we have 8 out of 15 in this far right column, this middle space is exactly overlap. And since we're on the far right side, we can count that over as the rightmost group, which is 3. I'm here with 2, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's actually like a decent amount of overlap. More than I expect to get, but I think that's correct. I don't think I made any errors there. Having already looked at this row, we know the rightmost group is 1, and that wouldn't be able to fit here. So that has to make this exactly a group of 1. And also, this row above it, where we have the space filled in, only has groups of 1. So again, should be its own group. Up here, this doesn't tell us too much because the rightmost group is 2, but here, rightmost group is 3, so even if it's as far right as possible, the space will always be filled in. Something interesting to note in this column there are no groups of 3 in this column, so I automatically know that there's no chance this space can be filled in, so it has to be blank. Now, I'm not sure I immediately know enough to know whether these are 2s or 1s, although 2, 1, 2. So basically I can only ever fit 2 groups of 2 above this, so that should actually tell me that this bottom one has to be 2. But also, like, could only ever fit 2 below this, so, like, I think this also has to be exactly 2. The top part of this. I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. And then if that's true, this should be filled in, because I still need 1 group of 2 above what I have, and there's only 3 spaces. And I also know down here that I still need 2 groups of 1, and they can't be immediately next to each other, which leaves only this space. So, now that I have this filled in, like, the furthest thing to the left this space could be is still the second group of 1. So, like, this should be its own group here. There's few and unfilled in spaces here. There's a chance this is my rightmost one. But, like, this still kind of, by its position, has to be a group of 1, which then makes this group I started here, this is the exact position of that group of 4 there. And then by this principle I still have yet to name, I can't fit a 1 over here. So the next best thing is that this has to be the rightmost group of 1 by itself. Okay. Boy, this sure doesn't seem all that important, but the rightmost, well, the only groups in this row up here are 2. Groups of 2. I couldn't fit 1 here. So, like, this has to be the furthest right group of 2. But the most important part about that is that this space would then be blank, because there's no way a group of 2 can reach all the way over here. So that really narrows down where the group of 8 can be in this column, because it can't be in this one space by itself. Which then also sort of tells us the position of our far right group, since we know the starting point and have no other groups to account for. But then also up here, the space I filled in with an X, it also has to be blank, because there's only one continuous group of 8 up here. So how many spaces do we actually have left over after that? I think it's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we automatically know 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that should be right. So it should be the case that all but 1 on either side fills in this way, and then there's only that flexibility remaining. Now this gives us a handful of end groups to work with. So our rightmost group here is 2, our rightmost group here is 1, but then we have this filled in, so the next group in line from that wall is 2. Now we have this filled in as a group of 3 we were looking at before. These 2 are already set. Here, rightmost group is 6, so that gives us a decent amount of information there. And then this is another 2. So if this column has only groups of 1, having filled these in, we can now separate them out as their own groups. Oh, and this column, we filled in so many things that we've accidentally done everything but fill in the final part of this group of 2, which we've already started, so it has to go there. And then that finishes the row, so nothing above it can be filled in. That then tells us this is the endpoint for one of the groups of 2 for this row. So it looks like that. And then, again, this column we were just looking at only has groups of 1. So we've got our top 2 groups of 1. And then we need... oh, we need 3 more groups of 1. No, that's not right. It's doing that thing that trips me up every time. It's not counting this one because its relative position might change. So I don't know. I was gonna say, if I need 3 more groups than what I have, I could say that this has to be filled and that this has to be filled. But that's not true, because this might be like the top one or the middle one, I guess. It can't be the bottom. Alright, so we did a bunch of stuff on that side. Now... there's only one continuous group in this top row, so this can't be connected to that. So that's how that group of 2 breaks down. And this is the end. There's only groups of 2 in this row, so that ends there, and this gets filled in. So, the thing I started looking at, now I'm looking at 7 out of 11, which means that all but 4 on either side should count as overlap, which gives us a top group of 1 for each of these columns. Hey, Spunny, welcome to the stream. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. Oh, and also, this isn't quite the same, because this one has a group of 1. So this would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So because of that extra group of 1, we get more overlap from the possible spaces in this group of 7. Now... Wow, jeez. So, literally every one of the columns I just looked at has only groups of 1 in it. So I could put a blank space on both sides of those groups. So now what am I looking at here? Now I have 11 spaces, and I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, I should probably get overlap out of the group of 3 at the very least, right? Be like 3, 1, 1, 1, or 1, 1, 1, space, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, just enough to get... This point will always be filled no matter where the group of 3 goes. And the column doesn't give me too much to work with there, so I'll leave that for now. I keep the 3 at it. Nah, it's still a lot. And the only missing group is 3. 2, 1, and 7. So now what we're looking at is 1 and 7. So it's 8 total spaces out of 12. I bet we have more information here. Nice when he says, had to cancel my mom's birthday because service personnel at the train operators on strike. Oh no. There's a chance they run out of trains. Oof. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, Ice Bunny. Does that mean you won't be able to see your mom, or you guys won't be able to, like, go somewhere to, like do an activity together? Why do I sound like an old man? Strike that. I've sounded like an old man since I was 6. I know the reason. I'm just weird. So that... Oh, that's actually interesting. That can't be right, huh? No, wait, that can still be exactly right. Never mind, I'm just silly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Okay. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the takeaway from that is that this one's filled. And, once again, in one of the millions of columns that have only groups of 1. So one of these is filled. Way too much going on here. Not enough here. How many is this all together? 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 11? Off the top of my head, I don't know if this gives me any overlap, but I think no, right? Yeah, it's 1 shy, it looks like. Not be able to see her, parents from the other side of the country, and brother cannot drive you home. I'm sorry to hear that, Ice Bunny. Hopefully you'll have a chance to do something just maybe a little late. It's like a belated birthday thing. Well, I don't mean I sound like an old man in terms of vocal quality. I mean that I always talk like an old man. Because I have like a weird vocabulary. and I never say anything cool. This is another one of those columns where everything is a group of one. Does that change something? That should actually change something with that row I was just looking at. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Because now there's only 2 spaces of flexibility, so this should always be part of my group of 3, no matter what. So that's a good catch, I guess. And then yet again, only groups of 1, lots of X's. Why's not all? Hey, why is everyone on my side all of a sudden? Also, just like saying things like a curmudgeon old man doesn't make you seem wise. I'm hip and with it. Ooh, hang on a second. 1, 2, 1. Is this correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think this is just what this whole row looks like, right? This should be the only way to work this. I need a group of 1, and then a group of 2, and then a group of 1. And accounting for this one blank space between 2 of those, that's the number of spaces I have. There's no chance that this is my bottom group, which is the only 3 for this column. So that means it has to be one of my groups of 2. Yeah, I was gonna check that in a second. The game suggests that the other group of 2 has to be above this, which sounds right, but I don't check that as fast as the computer does. Yeah, there's no way to fit another 2 down here with all the other things that have to be at the bottom. So the thing that tells me is that this space is filled in because 2 of these 3 are filled in, and the middle will always be accounted for. But that also tells me, because of the progress I've already made in this row, is that this space is blank because this group of 2 can't reach that far. And as this is the last group that I need to finish, none of these are filled in. Also, this space must be blank because there's only a continuous group of 4 in this column, and then that tells me a few other things because I really wasn't paying attention to that. This space has to be filled in because there's only one group, and even if it reaches the highest point possible, it will still reach this no matter what. But then there's no chance that this can reach any lower than here. Because it's just one group of 4, it's just not that long. That's not old. Being with your hip replacement is old. I mean, we're getting there. My joints and stuff are weird. It's very plausible. I have the same condition my sister does, I think. Just am living in moderate denial. So because I have this far right space finished, I know it has to be part of my leftmost group of 3. And then that gets blocked off there. And I need 3 more 1s. So I don't know about that. Okay, hang on. How many spaces is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know that the entire group of 7 has to be contained between this X and this X. So that basically means this space is definitely filled, and then 1 on either side of what I have now. That gives me enough information to know that this is one of the groups of 2 for this column, which also tells me that this space has to be filled in because I need something above that, and it's the only way to do that. Because there's only one continuous group in this top row. All the spaces between what I had were filled in. And then neither of these is eligible because group of 7 will be finished when I fill either one of those spaces. So this being blank then tells me that this is how I finish this particular group of 2 here. Right. Let's check something real quick. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so it's definitely possible that this could be part of the group of 2 and still have a group of 7 below it in this column. However, I guess it is probably worth noting that whether or not that's true... Well, actually, does that apply? Let me take a look at this. I guess I don't get any overlap here because the difference between this being group of 2 and group of 7 is enormous, in that if it is the group of 2, the rest of the column looks exactly like this with no variation. And if it's not the group of 2, then the group of 2 is up here, and then I guess it would still have to be the top 7? So I guess you could technically argue that there's like a weird type of overlap in this specific instance, where like anything that would count both if this was a group of 2 at the top and if it was 7 straight down would be overlap. So that would look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In theory, each of these spaces should be filled in, regardless of whether this... I mean, I guess technically this space is filled in regardless too. It's just not clear whether this space is filled. I'm willing to bank on that. I think it's true. I can't see any reason why that wouldn't be true. Because it's you basically just treat it like a group of 7, and the space that might be blank to make it separate things, you just ignore that completely. But either way, that would be filled. This is... Why? So that would mean that this is my group of 2. And then these would be the start of the leftmost group for each of these rows. So this is blank, this counts out to 2. This is blank, and then this counts out to 3. That now means that this has to be the bottom group of 3 for this row, because I still need the group of 3, and that's the only way to fit it. And then this one's blank because I apparently finished the rest. Still don't think I quite have this. Oh, this row's done now. That's fun. And this has to be my leftmost group of 1. Still doesn't help me do much to sort out the rest. Seems really likely that the group of 2 is here. Oh, wait. Oh, huh. Actually, that must be true, right? Because I blocked these spaces off not because of the column, but because of the row. So that being true, in order for this group of 7 to work, it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has to work like that. So then this is that space, this is finished row, this is overlap here that finishes this row, and this is blank, which means this is blank because it has to be my leftmost 1. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's where most of the group of 7 goes, and then I just need 1 to finish it. Where we at with this? I need a group of 2, a group of 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. So this is now overlap. But the rightmost version looks like 1, 2, 3, space, 1, 2. So this also is overlap, and there's only 1s in this column, and there's only 1s in this column. 1, 1, 1, 1? 1, 1, 1? Okay, can't do that just yet. One in the middle here. Oh, this row is done now. I don't know if that helps anything. What do I need for this column? I need 2 1s near the top, a 2 near the bottom, and a very bottom 1. One, 2. I think there's too much flexibility here to know exactly what's going on. Like 1, and then 1 of these would be filled. It's technically possible that it could look like this, so I don't think I have much on this right now. But I guess... one, 2... I think there's no way... I think this space has to be filled. Because if I left this blank, I would need a 1. And this is like the lowest it could be, if not here. So this would have to be bottom 1. Then I would need a group of 2 above it, which, like, this doesn't work. And this technically works, but then I still need 2 groups of 1 above that. So, like, that can't be right. So, like, this should be filled in. And that should be blank. One of those is filled in. Nothing here. This is close. Change anything here? No, that is the same. Just the 1 here. I guess this has to be filled, yeah? Because there's no way for this to be filled and be separate from the group of 7. And I need a group of 1 to the left of the 7. So once you finish this, and then this row finishes by filling this. And since my top group is 1 and not 2, that's blank. This is filled in. And then my next group down has to be 1, so this space can't be filled. This has to be my 1, which makes that group of 7 to finish that row. And then here, this space isn't eligible to be filled anymore because it's outside the scope of a group of 2. So what am I looking for here now? This is, like, pretty much still the same spot I left it in before, so I don't know what's up there. Here, I need 2... I need 4 below that? 1, 2... Whoa. Oh, no, because this is one of them. Okay. So that's fine. Also, only groups of 1. Doesn't change anything right away, but is true. Is this a recliner? I think this is a 1-up mushroom from Mario, if I'm not mistaken. Close-up of Ditto's dad. Oh no, you don't think that there's like you don't think that like a pixel art of Ditto's dad would look like Ota's dad from Somnium Files, do you? I'm pretty close on mostly everything except this bottom row. 2, 3. Oh, so I need 1 here. That's kind of tricky. I think there was something down from this position. This changed significantly? No, it's the same. Yeah. Hey, probably no one cares about this but me, but, apparently the new season of I Think You Should Leave dropped on Netflix. It must have been last week? I saw, like, a trailer come out. I thought that meant it was, like, coming, like, next month. And then I saw, like, someone tweet something about, like, a full sketch, and I was like, oh, like, it's out now. And then I watched the entire thing yesterday, because it's, like, 6 15-minute episodes. That show is super weird. I'm into it. I'm kind of into it in the same way that I eventually grew to like Tim and Eric's Awesome Show, which like one of my close high school friends really likes and is insane and bad. What are my thoughts on the new season? I would say like the new season is maybe the most consistent season of the 3 of that show, which as I said, I have grown to like. It might have fewer... It's, like, less spiky in the sense that, I'm not sure it has quite as many highs or lows. It stays a little bit more in the middle range of comedy. There's still, like, good stuff in it. I definitely like it, but, like, if anything, I think this season is most focused on sort of broadening the structure of the sketches on that show. They tend to have a similar kind of structure to them. Yeah, I remember Dan Posons. Did he specifically not like the new season or the show at large? Because I definitely do not fault anyone for either, I think. I think either are defensible. But to be honest, from my experience, you can't give a complete impression of your feelings about a season of I Think You Should Leave until you've watched it at least twice. Because, like, I kind of hated it. There were, like, a few sketches I liked the very first time I watched it, and, like, most of the rest of it I didn't like. And then I watched it a second time, and I liked most of it. I don't really have an explanation for that, but it's true. I feel like that may be the case with Season 3 as well. But, again, I think it's, like, defensible not to like it as much, because it's just doing things a little differently. So, like, yeah, I don't know. It's tough. You know, we must be light on moves because, like, a lot is sort of dependent on each other. I keep wanting to check off something here, but I know that this column doesn't work that way. 2, 3, 4. This one is tricky because I don't know where, like, top or bottom is. So I don't think that's it. Here might be something. I don't know. There's a lot of spaces left blank. I need a 1, a 2, and a 1. Yeah, the problem is there's still, like, a lot of options. So, like, I could do, like, a 1, a 2, and a 1. Or I could do, like, a 1, a 2, and that's a 1. So I don't think this is my in. I'm literally just looking for one of these 4 spaces to be filled. That's a pretty tough. Oh. That might help. This column's already done. That's gotta do something, right? Doesn't help here. Doesn't help here. Doesn't help here at all. Doesn't affect this row. Doesn't change this math, which is kind of surprising. And here, doesn't do much. I know that the right group of 2 out of the missing ones has to be in this set of 4. But that's only as far as that gets narrowed. Oh boy, I sure need a lot of 1s here. Is that something? I need... So I got the 2. And then I need 1, 2, 3. And then this one's filled. And then this one has to be filled, is what this looks like? Just, like, based on what it's showing me. I think that's right. So I need, like, 3 more immediately following the top 2. And so, like, they also have to be above the other one I have filled in. So there's 2 ways to do that, but both of them require both of these spaces to be filled. And then on top of that, I need 1 space below the one I already have filled in, and that also only has 1 space. So one of these should be filled, but that should be the rest of the column. Now for the bottom row, that tells me this is group of 1. Nothing changed here. Or here. This row is done. 1, 1, 1? No. Only groups of 1. Oh, only groups of 1. So this specific one being filled is very helpful, because it narrows down the rest really quickly, whereas if one of the adjacent ones was filled in, that would take more effort. Gosh, speaking of that, when's the last time we had a good old... Jason! So this is a group of 1, because there's only groups of 1 here. This column is done, which is good, because now in this bottom row, I know that this middle guy has to be filled in, because 2 out of the 3 have to be filled in. Here, in this column, I need 2 1s. I have 2 spaces for 1s. So that finishes this 7. Doesn't move that out. This stubborn row doesn't change, nor this one. Here, I need... See, it's trying to trick me again. It's saying I don't... No, it's not. I'm just reading it wrong. One of these 2 spaces is filled in, but I don't know which one. was my very first stream like? The very first stream that I ever did was I think it was a no face cam stream that Tech and I did together as like a subscriber special to the Renegade Constabulary YouTube channel of the game. Well, I'm blanking on the name. It's like a PS4 exclusive thing. It's like a short thing. What is that called? You play as this, like... Oh, it's gonna bother me. I think it was like the first game done by the Abzu people, and I don't know why I remember Abzu and not whatever this thing is called. It's like another, like, one-word title. No, not Flow. It's something where you're, like, in the desert, and you sort of just, like, fly around and, like, witness the world, and there's, like, hieroglyphics and stuff, but, like, it's a really slim story. Just good experience. Yeah, I can't think of the name of it. I know exactly what the game is, I just can't think of the name of it. So one of these, two of these. This hasn't changed, right? So it could be this, or it could be like any combination of those. Journey, yes, that sounds right. Journey. I don't know why we picked Journey. It was a good pick though. Because like, the story wasn't verbal, and so we could sort of focus on interacting with chat, because we had never done that before. And it was just like a pretty thing to look at. So like, it was a good choice for them. Looking at here, I need a, nah, it's still pretty broad. 2, 1? I'm really close now, but I don't see it. 1, 2. Is there like one of these I forgot to blank out or something? Oh wait, there's something here, right? Because I need 2 spaces filled in. It can't be these adjacent ones, so it's like this. Something, but that doesn't like help anywhere, does it? Because I still need a 1. One of these, and either one of those looks plausible. This whole mini square is very annoying. There's oh, for a second I thought you meant like multiplayer in some sort of like competitive sense, but like you just mean how in Journey, like at some point like another person playing the game shows up. That's a really cool idea. Journey is a really good game. I mean, it's a very short game and simple in a sense, but like it's just really nice. It's just like a nice thing. Someone, I think Sarah maybe? Someone recommended Flower to me. I think I have it, but I've never played it. I must be missing something, because it sure looks to me... Oh, yeah, I'm missing something. This space has to be filled. Because, like, that space is just missing from this column. So that makes that true. Doesn't help the rest of the row. Does mean that this is filled in. Which means that's where that 2 goes, and that finishes that row. And that should also finish this column. Which then means that this is filled. And since that finishes a group of 2, it tells me I need a group above that, and then this is the last one, and this is filled. And... that's not right. It's not both of these. It's this one. What? 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 What is that? It looks like a beaker full of snot. I didn't ask for this. I didn't order this. For a second, I almost believed that was gonna go S rank, even though it doesn't make any sense. Aqua Regia? What's that? Is exactly my question, but like expressed with words instead of like gestures and stuff. A potent mixture of nitric and hydrochloric acid, often used for chemical etching or to recover precious metals from circuitry. Am I gonna splash acid on this guy's face and make him, like... What's that guy's name? The, like, weird old Liam Neeson superhero movie? I can never remember if that's Darkman or Starman, because those are both old superhero movies, and I don't remember which is which. You think Jack was gonna use this on you? I would rather not think about it. Thanks, game. What a pointless interlude. Sure. Save another one, why don't you? So... Demolition... What'd you just send me? I hope it wasn't Aqua Regia. What am I looking for? Map, I guess. So I can be where I am, or I could go to lead security. You're telling me I can't be on a boat? That's so rude. Well, I guess I literally have only one choice. Agency! Didn't think we'd be back here again so soon. I kind of thought we'd be on a boat. Intercom intensifies. You just don't know when to give up, do you? Jack, where are you? It's the intercom. He must have access to the security network. Yeah, it's a security company that he owns. Doi. No Doi. Big Doi. I don't know, some combination of Doi. I will say, am I covering any of these? I think I am. But I like that there's just like a bunch of security cameras over here. There's like one behind my webcam and just like two hanging out. Very secure. Now for one of the most annoying endings in gaming. Ooh! Challenge accepted, Demolition. I've played both Somnium Files games. Jack, listen to me. Leave this done for. Your research is over. It's time to surrender and... Surrender? Don't make me laugh. I'm not sure I could do it and still be doing a Jack Nicholson impression. Leave may be compromised, but my technology can save millions of lives. I won't let you tear it all down. There are armed police around the building. It's too late! You killed people, Jack. You have to pay the price. This doesn't have to end in more bloodshed. Just come out and talk to us. In the Blood Garden. It's much nicer than the inside of the shed. No, no more talking. Jack? Jack? Jack! It appears he doesn't want to talk anymore. Then we'd better get to work. We'd better solve a nonogram puzzle or something, and find evidence that leads to Jack's research. It would be more efficient to find Jack first. I have unfinished business with him. Stay focused, Scout. We're not here to get revenge. We're here to secure a conviction. Is that what we're doing? That feels like news to me. I understand. What media had Don't Make Me Laugh? I don't know, like a bunch of things have had Don't Make Me Laugh. I don't know what the first one was, or why anyone ever thinks that's like a good thing. Okay, again, I don't know if it's that I've had a weird day, or that I've been doing... What the... Oh, a 0 row. I haven't seen a 0 row in a while, or a 15 row in a while, or a puzzle that's bigger than 15 by 15? Alright, I'm guessing this is the last one. What was I saying? Oh, basically I was prefacing the fact with, like, it'd be kind of funny to me if the last puzzle that you solve is, like, Jack pointing a gun directly at you, and then Honor just gets shot and you lose. Yeah, boss puzzle. I wasn't paying attention. Is that what, like, the banner said instead of just, like, puzzle? That'd actually be pretty funny to me. Boss puzzle. Well, I think it's pretty safe to say that the... Oh, wait. Is it taller than 15, too? There's, like, There's a trick of the eye going on here. No, that's 5, 10, 15. Okay, it looks weird because I'm not used to looking at a bigger than 15 by 15, but like row of 15 should still be full. And since we are dealing with 15, all but 3 are overlapped with a group of 12. Which gives me... God, this looks so weird. Like, I've been dealing with, like, specifically 15 by 15 puzzles for so long that everything about this looks weird. So, I'm just counting out all the leftmost groups here after establishing all the overlap for that big old 12 on the left. And then, good grief, is this actually like a really short puzzle? So far, it's not looking very hard. Because if we look at this row, I need 3 groups. A 1, a 3, and then a 2. And, like, the only way to work that is if, like, the 3 goes exactly in this space, the 2 fills 2 of these 3 spaces, and then the 1 is up here. And then this tells me my leftmost group of 2 can't fit exactly there, so that has to be blank, and this has to be part of that group of 2. But then back on the left column, neither of these spaces is eligible, because we only have one continuous group of 12. We've now narrowed most of that column down, giving us another 2 leftmost groups, and the exact position of the top group here. It's close enough to the left that this should definitely be its own group of 1. Oh dear, this column has only 1 in it. Yeah, maybe this will be a tough one. I don't know, it's kind of hard to gauge. Oh boy. I guess the wall principle applies here with this 3, huh? So, mostly groups of 1, group of 1, group of 1. Very exciting stuff. Boy, I bet if I really worked at it, I could tell you a lot about these left 2 columns. Am I willing to do that? I think so, because let's look at it this way. The rightmost group of 2 for many, not all, but many of the rows as I'm looking at them, is exactly 2. What that means is that where I have this big old column of 15 filled in spaces, in none of these instances could I fit another group of 2 to the right of them. So in any instance where there's a group of 2 as the rightmost group, like the right column has to be blank, and then like these 2 spaces have to be specifically filled. And that should apply every single time? Nope. All of the 2s. All of the 2s. It feels like that's lining up correctly. Because now if we look at this column, that fills in everything. Group of 1, group of 5, group of 1, group of 5, group of 1. And then in this column, I need exactly 3 1s, and that's also what remains. So that's a nice little shortcut. Really, most of this is just an exercise in trying to make the puzzle look bigger than it actually is. I still have not seen Mr. Robot, which explains why I was not able to help you place that reference. Although, of course, the notion of "don't make me laugh" is surely much older than that. I've heard it in things for as long as my creaky old bones have been alive. I just couldn't tell you where it started. So let's see. Got 10, 11, 12 spaces, and 8 of those are accounted for in this instance. That should give me something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Space 1, 2. Or 1, 2, space 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No! I misinterpreted. I'm 1 short of being able to put any overlap in there. Bad and disappointed. Most of these columns aren't going to be much help right now. This is something. I need like a lot of stuff in the middle here. 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 out of... Is it 13? 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, space 2. Yeah. There's like a variance of 1. So like that is 1, so that's like 1, 2, space 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the ones can go dilly dance, because who knows what they're up to. That's not helpful. There's 2 isn't helpful. Is there any chance that this is part of the bottom group of 4? I would need 1, 2, 3, 4 above it. That seems like a no. Okay, so that being the case, this has to be a group of 1, which I don't know if that's helpful. Is there a chance that this is part of the topmost group of 2? I would need to have 4 below it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Technically, yes, but only just barely. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I suppose I might as well just like manually check this, because I'm trying to figure out if I would be able to prove anything about this. Looks like not really. Okay. 2, 3, 1. Oh. Missing the end of a group of 4 here, which makes this my leftmost group of 1, since the whole group can't fit there, which means the 12 goes up there. This is the end of the leftmost group of 2 there. Also means that this column finishes thusly. So this space is blank, so that one's filled in. And then that becomes the leftmost group of 2, which is apparently the only space in this entire column, which is cool, I guess. So that probably means that one of these is now small enough for me to narrow down in a meaningful way. It's not supposed to be this one, is it? 1, 1. Maybe it is. Yeah, that appears to be the only way I can fit 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 2 1s. Yeah, alright. Close and then got there. So the row is done. Which means that for this column, where there's only 1 group of 2, and now 1 space is filled in, like a whole bunch of it can't be anything. And the same is basically true over here, just with slightly more margin of error. Narrowing down that many spaces probably does something to sort out one of these rows. So now I'm missing just a 5 in the middle here. 10. Nope, it's not quite it. So that wouldn't work. So that doesn't work. I think that works. This should work though. A 5 and a 2. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, or 1, 2, space 2, 5. And so in these cases, this has to be the bottommost group of 4. In this case, there's no chance that this is the top group of 2 for this column, so it has to be by itself as a group of 1. Does that do anything here? 2? It shouldn't. Groups of 2 isn't that helpful. This doesn't look helpful. What's the next thing? 2. Nah, it's still quite a lot of space here. And on this one. But there's more to fill in here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 11? With small groups, I don't think that's anything, is it? 1, 2, 3... Oh, hang on, it might be not. No. No, it's still definitely nothing. 2 out of 11? I don't think that's anything. 1, 2... Absolutely not. Okay. Probably could get something out of this, right? With this X here? Because, like... 5... I guess I could fit a 1 here. I mean, I could do, like, a hypothetical overlap. Where I could say that whether or not this... Like, there's no way to fit all 3 groups below this X. There is a chance that both the 1 and the 5 go below this X. But even if that was true... hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, like... If there was no group of 1 above the 5, I would get this much overlap. All but 3 out of these spaces would be overlap. If there was a 1, then I would have 2, 6, like even more. So it should be fine to say that the ones that overlap the possible overlaps are fine. Now that doesn't seem to do very much for me. I guess this is my next rightmost group of 1. Yeah, we do know for sure that the... Oh, is it though for certain that the 5 has to be below the X? It should be, because there's just, like, basically exactly enough space to put, like, a 5 above the X. So, since 2 groups need to be above it, the 5 has to be down there. But you're right, that is something I should, like, confirm. 3... similar note. Now that I have, like, an X in the middle of this row, I don't think it's... Yeah, it's not possible to have the group of 2 and 3 that are missing from this row on the same side of this X. So that means my 3 has to be here, this group of 5 spaces, and then the middle one will always be filled in no matter what. I do know that because I can't fit a whole group of 2 below this, this has to be my bottom group of 2, and then this can't be anything. Don't really have any overlap for the 2 out of 4. No help here. Well, I guess because I know that there is a filled-in space below this filled-in space in this column, this has to be a 1, because the only thing bigger than 1 is the very bottom. Does that help? Does that do anything for me? 2, 1, 1. No, not there. 1. Maybe. 4. Like I can fit 2 1s to the left of this X. And then this. It's like the leftmost version of 2 would be here. But that's still my rightmost group, so I'm not going to get any overlap out of that. It's still not very helpful. So that's something, that's nothing. That's current. 2, 3. 1, 1, 2. Or like 2, 1, 1. 1, 2. Pretty sure this guy's filled in. because, like, the lowest version of this is, like, group of 2 is here, and then we count, like, 1. Basically, the lowest position for the middle groups of 1 to end is here, and then a blank space. And then the 3 would either count up from there to this point, or down from the down from the top. So that space should be filled in. Which makes that rightmost group of 2, because I can't fit 2 closer to that side. And then the 2 can't reach that far. It's still 5 out of 10. It's close, but it's nothing. No, I don't think so. 2 and 3, I already did that. 1 and 2, no. 1 and 1, not possible. Only groups of 2, but so little information here. 1, 2. Huh. Huh. Oh. See? Huh. See? It's just too big. I know some stuff about this row here, but not anything useful. I know that the 2 has to be here, and the 1 has to be... Well, no, I guess I don't know the 1 has to be here. I do know that the 2 has to be to the left, because if I filled exactly these 2, then there wouldn't be room for a 1 to the right. Where's Demolition? Just focused on this. So, sorry if I'm not responding to chat as much. It'd be really funny to me. I've not, like, at this point when you say that, like, this is one of the worst endings in game history or whatever, like, that could basically mean anything. It'd be kind of, it would kind of be funny to me in almost like a meta way if we finished this puzzle and, like, the story just didn't end. They just, like, ran out of funding and there's, like, no final, like, cutscene, even though the assets, like, probably already exist and everything. It just, like, you just finish the puzzle and it just says congratulations and the credits roll and you're like, no, wait, what? I don't understand. Or maybe they just play that thing from the end of Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where, like, they kind of set up this big medieval battle, and then all of a sudden, like, the police just arrest everyone on the production and the movie ends very suddenly. Which I don't mind giving you that spoiler, because it doesn't actually tell you anything about the plot, because it truly comes out of nowhere. 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. Yeah, Honor of being arrested would be pretty good. 1, 1, 2. Is this something? This doesn't feel like something. 1, 1, 2. No, this is something. So I already have my 2, and yeah. So I need the 4 groups in the middle, and there's not a lot of space for that. So it'd be like 1, 2, space, 1, 2, space, whatever, have a party. So these 2 should both be filled in, which is top group, both cases. This then becomes the rightmost group in its row. Which tells me what? This space is blank, because there can't be a full group of 2 above this, so this is part of the top 2. So then this has to be, because this was overlap for a group of 2, it should look exactly like that. And then that leaves only one possibility for the remaining 2 groups of 1 there. Credits use the Curb Your Enthusiasm music. Yeah, that'd do it, I think. That'll get you there. Alright, that top row is looking solid. I guess we can all principle to count down a bunch of these. Any one of those I started. This one is my missing leftmost group, which is 1. Then this would be the next one in order, which is 2. And then I guess I'm only missing another group of 2 from the row, since this can't connect with our existing point that we've established. That should be blank. And then this starts the countdown of a different group of 2 for this column. Ooh, now that this point is filled in, we know it's the only group of 5 in this row remaining. So this space has to be filled. Even if it starts here, it will reach to this point. And these points aren't eligible to be filled in because they could not connect to the single group of 5 I'm missing. So this additional point gets to be a separate group of 1. Fun with that. This has not changed. This has not changed. This, I don't know about. Oh, we have a group of 2, so this has to be group of 1 now. Probably doesn't do anything, really. And 2. No help there. So one of those is filled in. That's current. This is current. 1. There's still kind of a lot of room here. I think there's much for me to do there. Here. 1, 1, 1, 2. Has that changed? It might have. So now I fit 2 1s to the left. 1 and 2 to the right. So yeah, the leftmost version would look something like this. These could move a little bit, but they still only could fit 2 groups over there. So one of the ones has to be on this side. Which gives me 1 point of overlap, because it could either look like this, or the rightmost group could reach to here. And if it did that, this would not be in exactly that position. So that's the only 1 point, but that does tell me... That does tell me that that's the group of 2 for this column, and then that does mean that nothing below that can be filled in. So what does that change? That means this is the endpoint for group of 2, and that this is part of group of 3. Or rather, we had this overlap for the group of 3, and since the possible spaces have pushed over 1, it means 1 more space definitely has to be filled in. Bottom group for this column is a 2, so that should be blank. Here, this row I started filling in. Guess another space of overlap, because now 5 out of these 6 spaces should be filled. So that's part of a 4, that's part of a 4. It's fine. This has not changed. This does not change more than I've already indicated. The rightmost group I'm missing from this row is 2, so this space can't be filled in. Since the bottom space in this column is 5, it can't fit in this missing gap. So then... 5 of these 6 spaces have to be filled in. Which means that this is our rightmost missing group here, which is 1. And because the rightmost missing group here is not a 1, it can't fit here. So this has to be part of that rightmost missing group, which is 2. Having ruled out a space here, we get additional overlap in this group of 3 over here that's almost narrowed down. I wouldn't randomly click on things. So, in this row where I just filled that in, there's now... this is one possibility. The rightmost version, the leftmost would look like 1, 2, 3. So both of these should be overlap for that group of 3. Under these circumstances, they're both solo group. Just like this, that should probably already have been marked. I think that immediately changes anything, but that is true and has been true. There's only groups of 2 in this column, so with a start point here, and this space not being part of it, we know that exact position. We also know that I need 4 total groups of 2. And of the remaining spaces, that means that this has to be filled, and then one of these 2. That's, like, these 2 basically have to be filled to account for what's missing. that done, my rightmost missing group, which I'm counting from the right because of the wall principle, should reach out to here as a group of 2. And that would make this part of a bottom group of 4. So it has to go to at least here. And apparently finishes that row, which is cool. And it finishes this group of 3. And it finishes this group of 5. Which finishes this group of 2 because it's the only group of 2 remaining there. And then it fills this group of 3. And then I guess that counts as the missing middle group of 2 for this row, which then becomes finished. That's a lot. So let's count from the right now. Missing group is 1 and 1, respectively, for these rows. In this case, this is narrowed down enough that this should be overlap between 2 possible positions for that last group of 2. How was my week? My week was not as bad as last week, but was pretty bad. It's been a bad few weeks for sure. Like, definitely an improvement. Oh, hey, check it out. We finished this column in the midst of all those things I randomly filled in. Also means that both of these spaces are filled in to finish their rows and the group of 3 at the top of this column. Which then tells me the exact position of this group of 5, which is cool. This is my second group down, so that should be by itself as a group of 1. This hasn't changed. I think this column is done. 1, 2, 3. 4 groups of 1, and then the 4? Looks like it. So now the next group from the right over here is 1, so we'll blank that space out, which is fine because this row is this column is apparently done. I just didn't notice it. We get a bunch of overlap here because we've narrowed down so much of this column. 4 of those 5 spaces are filled, so 1. Ooh, got low main. That's fun, Arcadius. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I got my birthday to look forward to. That is a thing that might hopefully break the cycle. Today was annoying in a particular way that isn't so bad, but was definitely annoying. So it's only possible to fit 2 groups of 1 in these 4 spaces. They could be like the far edges, they could alternate, but like there's no way to fit 3. I am missing 3 groups of 1 here, however, so this space should be filled, which also finishes this column. And apparently this column is done, and this column just needs 1. I'm pretty sure this one's filled in because it finishes the little pattern, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. So I don't know that. This should be finished group of 3. One of the... Well, actually... I want to make a deduction here, but I'm not smart enough for it. Give me a sec. I'm supposed to be eating healthier, but unhealthy food is so good. Yeah, even the healthy food I eat isn't good for me. It's a problem. I mentioned before on stream what a huge accomplishment it is that I just, like, keep produce in my house now. A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless. So, I don't apparently need anything for this row at all. And then, similarly, I have a group started here that I haven't finished and only 1 group to finish. So, like, that should... look like that. Now I can go back to looking at that thing I was struggling with. So, bottom group here is 4. Obviously, it doesn't connect down here. It starts here, so that means that it should reach to exactly there. And then this would be a separate group of 1. And then I need 1 more 1. And hey, look at that. It finished the little pattern. Yeah, same Alcadius. I know it makes me sound like immature. I do not like vegetables. I don't like them. There's some that I can have occasionally if they're made by, like, professionals, like at a restaurant. I have no patience to, like, find a way to prepare vegetables that I will eat. The texture on most vegetables is just deeply unpleasant to me and very, very annoying. This all should be eligible, I think. That's still... where that's at. This is the only place to put the group of 4 I'm missing, so this space is blank. I don't know which of these is filled. Oh, I do know that this can't be filled because all I'm missing is a group of 2 that can't fit in that one space, which means that this should definitely be filled to finish the column. That finishes this column. Leaves only this space to be filled to finish this row, which apparently finishes this column, which means one of these has to be done, right? Should be this guy. So this should be the last space in what I'm guessing is the last puzzle. Is it Iba again? It looks a little like Iba. Or maybe like a... What's the name of that like really cheap artificial dog that you'd see at like toy stores in like the late 90s and early 2000s? Had just like kind of like a flat face with like ears sticking up. I know it has some name. I never had one, so I don't know what it's called, but like it kind of gives me that vibe of just like flat face cartoon dog. What am I looking at? Okay, I can kind of see safe when you color it and tell me it's a safe. Poochie. Yeah, that sounds right. That's probably correct. I'm shocked that that was the last puzzle, considering that it was bigger than any other puzzle precedented to that point. Okay. There could be important evidence in this safe if we could bypass the combination lock. Oh, I swear to God. I swear to God, if you make me hack the safe, I'm gonna be so cross with you. I'm gonna be so mad at you if that's that's the thing that's happening. Something tells me we won't be lucky enough to find it on a bracelet this time. Maybe we don't need to. There are ways to bypass the lock entirely. Like turning on assault mode and blowing it up because it's an inanimate object and we're doing it for justice. Wait a second. I think I have an idea. Aqua Regia can dissolve metal, right? Yes. Oh, we could use it to melt the lock. You might want to stay clear. You may also want to stay clear. Also, I'm not sure that we established that it does that to the exact type of metal here. Sometimes, this is true, sometimes chemical compounds have different effects on different materials. So if this safe isn't made out of circuit metal, maybe it doesn't react. Hissing, bubbling. I'm dying now. Also, it's open. I mean, that's more or less what I just said, right, Demolition? Like, you just, like, if you're not a scientist and you don't know that, it's weird to make that assumption, and I'm not sure that safe is made out of necessarily a similar type of metal that has that reaction. Don't breathe the fumes, Otter! They're toxic to humans! Does she drop dead? Is that the thing? Thanks for the warning. Can you check inside for me? There's a computer in there, and the files are in the computer! Who puts a computer in a locked safe? Clearly someone wanted a hacking pilot. It's not uncommon for highly sensitive systems. This seems to be some kind of mainframe access terminal. Perhaps I can hack the mainframe. There must be some pretty important data on that system. Perhaps even the financial records you're looking for. I will attempt to access. Mainframe primary storage is warming up. I should have access in just a moment. That's enough. This game is over. And then the credits roll because it's a game. It's always funny to me when you're playing a video game and a character says this game is over. That's why I was always amused. That's a line of dialogue that gets repeatedly spoken by one of the optional characters in Eternal Sonata. Like, sometimes he'll just do his, like, big special attack and then just definitively say, "This game is over!" And I feel like it should just fade to black every single time to mess with you. Jack, stop hiding. We have to go back. Come out and... Oh, no! What's wrong? Something's happening to the mainframe. I'm losing my connection. Isn't that an REM song? You really thought I'd make it that easy for you? So he's just, like, at this point, Jack isn't so much a character as he is just, like, a series of popular villain cliches chosen from some sort of database. This is my company, Honor. We play by my rules. He's wiping the data remotely. Files are being deleted faster than I can read them. Can't you do something? I might be able to override his control, but then do it before it's too late. There was a button there. Oh, good. It's like the worst thing I can imagine. Hooray for me. The poison for Kuzco. The whole rest of the stream is just this. So I have no interest in rushing this. 2 and 1 and 3 and 1 and 1 and 2. 3 and 1 and 4 and 5. 3 and 1. 3 and 1. And that should be there. And then this. I hate it so much. Just like it a non-existing amount. Oh crap. That was just a guess. I didn't even know that was right. 5 and 5, 1 and 3 and 2 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 2 and 1 and 3 and 2. 5 and 3. I guess that... No, that doesn't do anything. 3 and 1 and 3 and 1 and 1 and 3 and 1 and 3. And of course. Jack's security protocol kicked me out of the system. Don't worry, you have infinite tries, thus rendering anything remotely interesting about this already bad idea completely pointless. I've turned this entire tournament into a total farce. Another one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged series references. 3 1s. 3 and 1. Oh, God, it's so not good. I just can't tell you enough how not good it is. Already did that one. Jiminy Christmas. This is 5, so this is 1 and 2 and there. This is 2 and 2. I was pretty close the last time, I think. But, like, it's still gonna take me 1,000 tries, because I just hate it. It's, like, the main issue. Oh, good grief, this is bad. 3 and 1 and 2 and... just, like, guessing now. This is 2, this is 5, this is also 5. 3, 3. This is all fine. 4 means... oh, but 1. Probably this. This has to be, I think. So 1. So, like, 3. I mean, I get that it's, like, really carefully calculated to, like, barely give you enough time to do it. But it's just, like, very annoying to play. I'm just, like, actually starting to memorize placements based on how few actual hacking puzzles there are. Which, like, again, is, like, not a good game mechanic. Oh, I should remember this better. The one with the 2 4s was really weird. bite me. Farts. It's gotta be that. I think that should be that. What am I missing? This? 1, 3, 3, 1. This is 5s. This is there. That's there. This is there. Okay, great. I got it with 1 second. Cool. I feel so accomplished from just like randomly, panically clicking around and eventually memorizing parts of 5x5 squares. Oh man, so good. So much fun. I feel pride as a gamer. I did it! Jack's access to the mainframe has been revoked. The files are safe. And we finally have all the evidence we need. Thank you, Arcadius. It is some consolation to be impressed by that. I mean, like, in fairness, this is, what is this? Like, number 27 or number 28 of, like, 3+ hour streams of me solving nonograms. I've learned a lot by just doing them. And I know it's, like, hard to follow everything as I go. I do my best to make it at least a little educational or interactive in some meaningful way. But, like, I promise that if you spent 70+ hours solving these puzzles, they would make sense to you too. Guess I'll have to do this the old-fashioned way, with a fire axe and a bathroom and an old hotel. Look at Scout. Look at determined Guardian Scout. This ends now. No honor! This is cool. I like this. Get out of my way. It does kind of look like a Yu-Gi-Oh monster. Here's what I like. It looks like a whole like cash register came out of the bottom of his tape deck. I'm not really sure about the logistics of that. But then again, at the same time, he did sort of spawn a bunch of tentacles and a big laser gun that also kind of couldn't have come from anywhere. You're saying he looks like a specific Yu-Gi-Oh monster? Which one? Get out of my way. Target acquired! See, he has the scout voice now because he's in control while in assault mode. It's character development. It's the type of thing you would actually do in a movie. It's like when he's not in control, he gets his... It's kind of like it happens in, like, Big Hero 6. Scout as a magic card. What would he be? Obviously some sort of artifact creature. Probably something that, like, scries or surveils. He, like, finds the thing you're looking for out of a certain amount of data. Oh, he looks like a Toonroid mod. What is there a general name for those? They're all like cartoon vehicles and things that have Roid in their name. But calling him a Roid monster feels like that indicates something different. Scout Roid. Yeah, the special art actually rules. Like, I actually like this a lot. Huh. What are you gonna do? I know you can't shoot anyone. You're a failure. Disengage assault mode. That's an order. I said disengage assault mode. No, you don't control me anymore, Jack. You can't kill me. I created you. I made you what you are. Yes, you made me into this. You created a killing machine. Now, at last, you are the target. It's not my fault. If I'd had more time, Jenna was holding you back. What kind of argument is this? It's your fault. It's not my fault, even though I said it was my fault like a minute ago. Jenna gave me freedom. Jenna gave me everything. And you killed her. Scout, calm down. No, he has to pay for what he did. Think about what Jenna said. You're better than this. He killed Jenna. This is justice. It's not justice. It's murder. By numbers. You'll be just the same as him. Just the same as Frank, Kathleen, Fran, Hyde. Take you away or shut you down. Please, Scout, I don't want to lose you too. I mean, you could shoot his gun or something. I don't want to lose you either. Put the gun away, Larson. We've got the building surrounded. We've actually been here the whole time. We were kind of just waiting for that dramatic sequence to end. We thought it'd be cool. It did look pretty cool, though, right? I've never been so glad to see your face, Detective. Looks like I got here just in time. For him, maybe. We had everything under control. You had everything under control. You did great, both of you. I couldn't have asked for better partners. Even though that's really definitely not how any of this works, and I promise I'm not paying you any money from the LAPD's funds. As for you, Jack, I've got a cell with your name on. You don't know what you're doing. This isn't over. Keep it moving, Larson. For some reason, it makes me think of the end of Season 1 of the Jackie Chan Adventures. In the first season, it's like all about like collecting and protecting these like ancient magic talismans that were created by this like ancient like evil spirit from China. And then basically like a big confrontation happens and they opt to try and like destroy the evil force that assembles against them. And in so doing, they make a worse evil magical force because, like, the existence of that spirit was, like, putting a limiter on the magic that could happen. It's like, it's a great metaphor for, like, maybe don't kill them. They tried to do the same thing in the Magic the Gathering story once, but then just completely dropped it, so it wasn't interesting at all. Which describes a lot of things in the Magic the Gathering story. That's it. He's gone. It over. I should be happy. He will face justice. And yet, it won't bring Jenna back. Nothing will. A part of Jenna is still alive in you. As long as you live up to what she wanted, she's never truly gone. That is a nice thought. Do you need a minute alone? I understand if... Is he gonna look for, like, a magazine, or...? No, I think I am ready to go home now. Several weeks later. Still didn't finish the coat of paint on the wall. See, I was worried we were going to get these characters back whose voices I didn't remember how to do. I was expecting this and did no preparation. I expect him to waver in and out of Cockney from Australian again, because it's been too long since I had a decent amount of practice. Here we are at last, you and me, a bottle of Chardonnay. I was beginning to think it might never happen. Sorry it took so long. It's been a heck of a summer. We'll just have to make up for lost time, won't we? Sounds good to me. I just hope we can open the bottle before anything else happens. I was expecting something to happen. Turns out being a detective is a full-time job. What? What kind of thing is that to say? That's such a stupid observation. It's literally a full-time job. That's not like... Saying something like being a mother is a full-time job is like kind of insightful, because it's like, yeah, like, it takes a whole bunch of work that maybe you take for granted if you don't have kids or whatever. Saying that a literal full-time job is literally a full-time job is stupid. You're the worst, Honor. Still can't believe you turned down the new showrunner's offer, though. We could have worked together again. Yeah, but that would mean working with Becky again, too. Even though she's just kind of mildly unpleasant and not actually like a murderer or anything, that's somehow inexcusable. Wait, what's this demolition? Working 40 hours a week as a full-time job? Since when? Oh, she's not so bad now. Almost cheerful sometimes. It's actually a bit weird. Good for her. I guess getting into the Starshine Committee really did change things. For some reason, I just can't help but, like, read all this dialogue like it's from, like, a really hokey sitcom now. Well, she kicked up a fuss when she saw a new costume was the wrong color, but we can't expect miracles overnight. Am I late? Not at all. It's so good to see you again. How are you? I'm good. What's with all the boxes? Did you just move in? Also, like, your walls are only partially painted in a really weird and kind of concerning way. Yeah, about a year ago. I thought I was bad. Been so busy I haven't gotten around to tidying the place up. I am that bad. A year? How about I give you a hand with some of this stuff? It can wait. I've got big news. I have a full-time job. I'm getting my official private investigator's license. From where? Like a Cracker Jack box? And I'm her full-time partner. Okay, but like, how did he get a license? Doesn't he need a license to... Wouldn't he need a license for that to work, to be like her partner? Doesn't that take years? I honestly don't know. It definitely takes a real commitment, I think. I don't think it's just like night classes over... It said several weeks later, right? I was so focused on doing the SpongeBob joke, I didn't actually pay attention to what I was reading. I don't think machines need licenses. That's not true. I had to license this copy of Murder by Numbers to play. Sure. We wanted you to be the first to know after everything you did for us. Me? Thanks, but I didn't... I mean, it was you that threatened to derail all my cases and get me fired and whatever. Just take the bloody compliment, detective. Gotta say, I'm glad you finally decided to do things by the book, or, as some might say, by numbers. But I don't think this means I'm gonna go easy, but don't think this means I'm gonna go easy on you next time we work a case together. The thought never crossed my mind. Besides, I hear you might be stuck behind a desk more often now. A Capitan Cross! You got a promotion? Congratulations! That's what it used to say at the end of NES games when you finished them, because they weren't entirely localized. That hasn't even been announced yet. How did you hear about it? The detectives got their sources. Well, anyway, are we here to watch a movie or what? I'll get the tape. I'll get the popcorn. One last thing, Detective. Did you do what I asked? Yes, the court documents state that Scout was destroyed at SSI Labs. According to all the official records, he no longer exists. What? He doesn't have, like, a social security number. You don't have to... Like, what good does it do to fake his death? He can't just, like, pretend to be, like, Bob in accounting. He's a flying effing robot. If someone sees him, they're gonna know that he's a flying robot. Like, what's the purpose of this whole charade? What's happening here? Thank you. He deserves a fresh start. As always, I've demonstrated my lack of critical thinking skills as a detective. It was the least I could do. Seriously, no one cares about this. It's meaningless. Just say Smith. Are you ready for the movie? It's one of my favorites, Casablanca! No kidding, that's my favorite too. I'm glad that they did some... In Doki Doki Literature Club, they call these, CG images? I don't know if they're actually computer-generated in a more meaningful fashion than the other art in the game, but, like, that's what they call them in Doki Doki Literature Club, so that's what I'm inclined to think of them as. But this is nice. I like the other one better. It was a good way to do a little dramatic scene at the end. This is fine. It's not bad. Just, like, not as interesting to me as the other one. It's nice to finally get some quality time with you guys. I'm lucky to have you around. Don't I know it, babe. Now I'd like to propose a toast to new friends, new beginnings, and flying robots. I'll drink to that. Hey, Scout, did you know that they made this whole movie right here in LA? The airport scenes were filmed at Burbank. You know, I didn't know that, but that sure seems plausible. That's a common misconception. The ending scene was actually... Spoilers! Came out in 1942. And some of us weren't around back then. Will you two be quiet and watch the movie? Waka waka. Everyone except what's-her-name lived happily ever after. That's, like, kinda true. Is it? Okay. Okay, it's gonna progress itself. That's fine. Oh, little doodles! Little doodle people! Little doodle people! Look at that pigeon. Is that my hatoful boyfriend? Oh my god. It's having a little struggle. Am I forgetting a pigeon of significance in this game? That's the same image. You can't fool me. Is that what the private investigator license looks like? Oh. Rip. F's in chat for Jenna, I guess. Oh yeah, she's like dating that guy, right? Bobby whatever. Forgot about that. Vaguely remember this police officer. Oh my god, that angry woman. She is not pleased. More villain cliches. This guy. His action figures for Murder Mystery, I guess. Trying to wake her up is fun. I'm actually disappointed we didn't get more of, what's her name? The other actress lady. I thought she was a lot of fun. I mean, I guess the story didn't make sense to, like, meet up with her again. She was, like, turning over a new leaf, being part of the Academy of Arts and Sciences or whatever. He looks so stressed out. Oh, I'm covering it. Crime stats. I don't think that's how you do that. It's that one guy. Thank you for playing! I don't know if they did it intentionally. I think they did, but like the context made it a little unclear. Oh, hang on. Post-credit scene. I think it's the last season of Ted Lasso. Like the sports team that the show is about, like does like an all hands in and like a chant, like something on the count of 3. But they say, like, 4 on 3. 1, 2, 3, 4! And I thought that was just, like, so funny in, like, the dumbest possible way. It's like, normally it'll be, like, teamwork on 3. And then you'll say, like, 1, 2, 3, teamwork as, like, a group. But, like, saying 4 on 3 is just, like, we're just counting. We're just doing counting now. So what did you think, Casey? Isn't it a great movie? The mystery, the drama, the dramatic twist at the end? It was good. I mean, it was no mannequin, but it was good. I think that was my radio. You better answer, Captain. Is that really the kind of life you want? Always on the job, waiting for the next mystery to roll in? Hey, is he gonna come back in and tell us that, what's her name? Sheila? Like, Honor's mom got murdered? She also got dropped from this game like a bad habit. Introduced a lot of characters that felt like they were going to be through lines, and almost none of them made it through all of the cases. I wouldn't have it any other way. What's up, detective? You look worried. Just spoke to one of the investigators cataloging evidence from the old SSI lab. We found another scout prototype there, right? Yeah, Jack was trying to get it working again, but it was missing some parts. Why? He wanted my components. It's gone. Case closed. Hooray. So... we only have, like, an hour or so left. I could do... Murder by Numbers 2 coming out in 2019. They never announced that, did they? Because didn't Murder by Numbers 1 come out in, like, 2019 or 2020? Yeah, I was thinking, like, to round out the stream, do, like, the hardest S-rank puzzle, which might take me, like, over an hour or something. Like, we could do another game, but, like... let's see the hardest thing this game has to offer. Yeah, I figured... oh, it's a 20 by 15. Alright, there's like a bunch of 9s. This might not be the worst. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4. 1, space, 1. I mean, it's like pretty much this, I think. It's like most of that. If only this was timed. Why are you like this, Castle Arg? What did I do to you? Well, thank you for the bits, Demolition. And congrats on your 69-month resub earlier as well. Very nice. Anyone have any grievances they want to air? We got time. We're just doing one big long puzzle now, so we can chat. 6, 7, 8, 9, or 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Well, it's exactly the same overlap that I already had. Very good. About 9, 2, 2, 1. Let's do it from the other side. 1, 2, 2, and then it would be like 2, 3. So it should be overlap like this, right? To be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Again, just like that's pretty basic, but like I've gotten really used to like looking at things on the 15 by 15 grid. So like even basic stuff kind of like looks confusing now. The only grievance you have is how stuffed you are from the food. That's, like, not so much a grievance, and I mean that in a good way, because, like, that doesn't sound, like, super terrible. But yeah, like, closing thoughts on this game as I go through this. It's tough. You know, I've talked a lot about it already. The story in this game is not super strong. Which is disappointing to me because going into this, my assumption was like the game was probably taking some inspiration from like Phoenix Wright. There's like quite a few things in it that feel very Phoenix Wright. And of course, Phoenix Wright is a no voice acting visual novel game with a puzzle element to it with criminal storylines. So like there's a lot similar just on the surface. And so, like, I was kind of, like, looking forward to that. Not necessarily expecting it to be the Shakespeare of visual novels, because I know, you know, indie game and all that. And granted, going into it, I also, like, had never done a nonogram puzzle to my immediate recollection. Not in its true form. The general idea was kind of familiar to me, but I don't think I'd done any, or at least not many. The puzzles are good. It's a little silly how often the finished product doesn't look like anything. And I think it's a little even sillier than that it relies so heavily on coloration of the finished puzzle in order to convey what it is, so that in the sort of black and white spaces that you fill in, it still often doesn't represent the thing in question. So, like, that could be better. It's not terrible. My biggest problem is the story, because here's the thing. If all I wanted were nonogram puzzles, then I'd probably prefer a game that didn't have a story at all, right? Like, I would just want, like, literally, like, these scout memories where I could just scroll through a list of puzzles of various challenges until I ran out of puzzles. So, like, it would seem that the appeal of this game is to combine in some meaningful way the nonogram puzzles and the story. So, like, while neither one of them is so terrible as to make the game, like, unplayable in relation to the other. And it's really strong language. My point more being that, like, I'm not necessarily sure that it succeeds so strongly at either one that it can afford to be so lax on the other. Like, the end result is, like, pretty good, but, like, kind of only if you already want a game like this. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, like, if I was to, like, factor that into, like, a final grade, it would be, like, you know, a pretty strong caveat that, like, I'd really only recommend this if you like the idea of solving a ton of nonograms. Because, like, the story in and of itself isn't worth playing through all the puzzles if you're not excited about playing the puzzles. And if all you're excited about is the puzzles, then I feel like the story is probably a largely unwelcome distraction. So I think ultimately the game is, like, good, could definitely be better, doesn't manage to reach greatness. That being said, if they ever did make a second one, maybe they'd refine it a little. I would like to think that if they did make a second one, Honor would not be the worst detective. I genuinely think she might objectively be a worse detective than Date from the Somnium Files. Which is not good. Scout is in Fall Guys? Really? When did that happen? And also, to some extent, how? So the one I checked was the 9-2. These two 293s, I don't think I did check. Here's purple. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, etc. 1, 2, 3, space 1, 2, 3, 4. So the overlap would be all but 4 from the opposite side. Okay, I did count that correctly. Again, it just feels weird looking at it on the big grid. And then this should be exactly the same, because it has all the same inputs. Two, 7, 1. So 271 is 4 fewer spaces. I think that still means I should get some overlap here. So 7, 4, 1, space 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, must have done that math wrong, because I definitely don't get overlap when the other group is that small. Huh, so this is more than 1 together. Which means it has to be part of my bottom group of 4. Or my second to bottom group of 4. I don't think that tells me anything useful, but it should be true. No, 5 and 5. 5 and 5 out of 15 isn't anything, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 2, 3, 5, space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess that's something. Looks like that should be overlap, and the other overlap is encompassed by this thing I already have. This space is probably filled in. I feel like this is gonna be harder than I want it to be, but that's probably fine. 2, 6, 4, 1. So these, like, have to be joined as part of the 7. So this space should be filled. But then keeping that in mind, I guess 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So it would never be possible for this group to reach higher than this, because it's just one continuous group of 7. The lowest it could reach is to here, which would be this many different, very professionally spoken. That should be my overlap there. Let's... I think I looked at these rows, so like 5. Leftmost version would be like 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, or 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. So that's obviously nothing. There's a Scout PC Builder Simulator. No, you can't actually build Scout. So wait, how does it relate to Scout then? Ten, 11, 12, 13, 14. There should be most of this, right? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 or 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Space. Weird, clunky middle mess. Surprisingly unhelpful. Or perhaps not surprising. 2, 4, 5, 1. That's gonna be nothing out of 20. 6, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's annoying, it's 15. 10, 12. Did I do the 2, 7, 1? I think I did, and it does. Yeah, it doesn't work because the rightmost group is so small. Even with the larger middle group, out of that many spaces, it doesn't work out. 2, 4, 1. That's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Those gotta give me overlap with the. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4, space. The rest won't overlap between the two. So just that one. I had a very active Twitter account until 2021. Did they do some official sign-off at that point, Demolition? Okay, so check this out. With this space filled in, it has to be part of my leftmost group, because, like, if these were two separate groups, this would have to be the 9, and this would be the 2. Except this is already more than 2, so it's all part of the 9. So everything has to be continuous. So that gives me 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8. 5, and then 3 on the other side. The switch reviews and then moved on. Man, stuff ending makes me so sad. It's such a dumb trait, but just like things being done forever just like bums me out. Sometimes even if I don't like them. Just the true finality of something. Even if I get closure, it's sometimes still really upsetting to me. Like, sometimes I find it really hard to watch, like, the last season of, like, shows I like and things like that. So I'm like, I know I'll be sad. There's a concept that they used to talk about on the Kevin and Bean show on KROQ, which one of the two hosts, Bean, would talk about stuff in a kind of similar fashion, where, like, if he found out that, like, a celebrity he cared about was, like, getting on in age or maybe got sick or something, he would be, like, pre-sad about their death. And they're like, what do you mean pre-sad? And he's like, well, I'm sad because I know it's coming. And then they're like, well, doesn't that just mean that you're sad now and that you're gonna be sad again when it happens? Like, isn't that just objectively terrible? And the answer is yes, but that changes nothing. This seems to be a group of 5. So the other group of 5 has to be to the right. Or sorry, to the left of you. So let's see. If those 2 spaces were filled in, then it would have to be exactly these 5 spaces that the group of 5 was in. If they weren't, there would be 2 more spaces available for it to go in the other direction. But either way, these should be filled in. This is my perhaps last trick learned from solving the puzzles of the game. I don't know that does anything for me, though. These columns kind of suck. These columns are all stinkeroos. I can't remember if I've taken a closer look at this 3, 6, 3, 2. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 2. 1, 2, space, 1, 2, 3. Space. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. I don't think that changes anything. Yeah, this'll definitely take the rest of the stream. It's just a matter of how long that is. Yeah, it's gonna be a long stream. I think I ruled this out without actually checking this. Is there some way? 4, 2, 3. 3, 4, 5, and then the last one's not important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, space. No. It is exactly shy of that being useful at all. Dun, 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 dun. Chat, what's the weirdest song you've had stuck in your head recently? You ever get a song stuck in your head after, like, an incredibly long time since hearing it? Relatively recently, I've heard, like, a lot of songs that I think have, like, a similar, like, note structure or some musical element to them as a completely unrelated song. So I hear that song and get a different song stuck in my head because I know that song much better. It's happened like a few times over the last year, and I don't remember it happening much before that. Most recent was Toxic. I heard Toxic on the radio today. Today I had, this is such a weird thing to even say. I had, Hairdresser Octopus from Parappa the Rapper 2 in my head. It's my favorite level from that game. And, every now and then, especially if someone says, give it my best shot, it will just, like, trigger a recollection of that song. Never played any of those games. They're a lot of fun. They're pretty stupid. Like, the thing to me that's fun about them is how stupid they are, and I'm not shy about that. Any birthday plans? Yeah. For the first time since the pandemic started, I'm taking a trip. I'm gonna do, like, the old family standby of, visiting Vegas, which is, like, my favorite. It's a big deal. I hope it goes okay. I don't leave my house at all. There's just other circumstances that make it seem like now is the time to do the thing. And for whatever it's worth, most of the bad news is about politics and not health anymore. Cool, I guess. Man, this puzzle sucks. I don't know if this is part of the 5 or the 3. 2, 3. Nah, I don't really. There's no real way to know that. Hey, Angel, welcome to the stream. Oh, you been lurking? No worries. Hope you're doing alright. I know things are usually tough for you, like they often are for me, but I hope that you, like me, have had a slightly better week. I will be staring at these squares until I die, though. No, nice. Congrats on paying off the car demolition. That's nice. Nice to have that done with. Can I get mine worked on? Hasn't been in for inspection in a while. Oh boy. Not kidding around with a 15 or 20 by 15, huh? Yeah, no need to stress about socializing. Socializing is hard. I still don't know how to do it, and I'm so old. I don't think I... That's encouraging, Demolition. I do hope you get some answers on stuff going on. I know it's been a lot to deal with. Been a bad week for you, Castle. Sorry to hear it. Anything you want to talk about? Because I was signing off from work today. It's pretty common for one of my coworkers and I to just like briefly chat about like weekend plans on a Friday. And she just like, I won't go into any details, but just like kind of like asked her if she had like Father's Day plans, because Father's Day is this weekend in the US. And then she like told me like a whole like big complicated story, and I was like, oh, I mean, it's the end of the day. It's a weird time for this. I'm like totally here for it, but like maybe an ideal time to go into it is like not with like 2 minutes on the clock. Yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on for Father's Day. I'll be there on Sunday to see my dad. Pretty sure my sister's going to be there. And she has moved her normal Sunday stream time, which would be the obvious conflict there. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11, do I get something out of this? 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, no, 2, space, 1, 2, 3. Yep, nope, that is one shy of being helpful in any way, shape, or form. This might be right on the line. Just because, like, more larger groups? No, that can't be right. Because if there's 3 variants, then there's, like, can't be any overlap for the 3. At all. Ever. Yeah, my brother's a bit of a wild card when it comes to family stuff. Obviously, he doesn't live as close to my parents as my sister and I do. I did vaguely mention some sort of summer visit without giving any sense of time frame. So, I really doubt that'll be Father's Day, but who knows? Yeah, I think you're really supposed to ramp up to this by playing some other stuff that might be harder than the base 15 by 15. This seems harder than it's probably supposed to by the time you do this. Have I not done this one? Feels like this should be something. Nah, it sure isn't though. Really feels like it should be. But it is not. It turns out. Oh, we have dates? That's news. Just found out last week. That tracks. That makes sense. And it is good to have a time frame on that. Huh. I'm really just looking silently at numbers. It's the worst content. I feel like on a good day, Murder by Numbers is terrible stream content. So like this puzzle that is probably too hard for me is definitely worse content. Yeah, can't draw any conclusions from these things. I was thinking of like I assume that this is overlap, because this would be filled or... Well, I guess this would either be filled or a blank. And so either way, this would not be part of the two. But then, if this was a blank, it could... There's, like, multiple... No, it still overlaps, though, doesn't it? Blank, 1, 2, blank, 1, 2, filled in, blank, 1, 2. Yeah, this space is always filled. I don't think that's useful. Hey, Cotillion. Thanks for the 71-month resub. Season's greetings to you as well. They did have something exciting happen this week, but I specifically can't tell you about it, because I don't want to get anyone's hopes up and I have no idea how long it's gonna take. But it could be cool. I have 6. Definitely not gonna get anything about the top. And the bottom is just 1, so you'll never draw a useful conclusion there. As for Wes Anderson movies have been disappointing. I'll admit I did not see Isle of Dogs, which kind of just flew under my radar. French Dispatch looked like it was not for me, to be honest. Like, it looked like it was probably, like, a good film, but, like, it's not necessarily for me. I did not see Grand Budapest. That looked a little more my speed compared to some of the recent stuff. And I'll give you a hint for watching all my streams all the time, Mom. Jam Flats in chat is my mom. You are the literal only person I think I've given any frame of reference to for what the thing is. And when I did, it was a week ago. At some point I might give up on this puzzle because I'm literally just staring at numbers. And staring at numbers is way less popular of a game than Murder by Numbers. Oh, listen, I'm not like a Wes Anderson aficionado. Moonrise Kingdom ranks really highly for me of my favorite movies. I'm not gonna say it's one of the best movies I've seen, because that's probably insane. But I really liked Moonrise Kingdom. Staring at numbers make you want to do a murder? Yeah. I mean, it depends on the numbers, right? That kind of makes me think, anyone here watch Severance? There's a point where they describe the job that they do on Severance, and they kind of just literally have, like, a screen filled with numbers, and they're like, what do we do? And like, well, you just kind of look at the numbers, and then if you look hard enough, they'll start to give you, like, an emotional sense. So, for example, if you look at some numbers and it kind of scares you a little bit, you put them in the first box. Yeah, there sure are a bunch of numbers. God, there's gotta be something here that's, like, useful enough to, like, finish a row or a column or something so I can, like, build off of it. It's just exhausting looking at these numbers, man. I don't understand how you could have any questions about that occupation, demolition. So that's fine. That's pretty much how that overlap would look. This is 2, 6, 8. Oh, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the leftmost group is 9. It can't reach to here. Does that do anything for me? Pretty sure no, because the left-hand column is like no total spaces to account for. I guess it tells me that the 4 is in the top part, but that's not very helpful. Or is it? Actually, I guess if it has to be in the top part, then this would have to be overlap, that bottom spot. And then if that's true, then this space is blank. And then maybe that tells me something about this. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. It's barely not possible to fit everything below that X. Which means that at least one group has to go above it, which means that that has to be the group of 4 at the top. So then, I don't get anything from this. Leftmost group here is 1, which has to be this. So I can't fit another group to the left of it. I were thinking Severance was Succession. I have neither seen nor do I have any interest in Succession. I'd heard a lot of good things said about Severance, and I was very interested to see it. I watched it this week. And I like it a lot. It doesn't seem like the same show people describe to me. And I in no way could I articulate that even if I was going to give a spoiler. I do like it. I'm not sure I like the things I'm supposed to like about it. It's really well written. I definitely wish the first season had one more episode in it. And this row, this has to be part of my leftmost group of 4, which has to go to at least here, even if it starts there. And actually, because we've now put this X in place, we circle back around. The 4 has to go here, so this space should also be overlap. And since it reaches the edge, that's the entire leftmost group of 3. Severance versus 1899. Extremely different. They have kind of like a similar ominous vibe of Discovery to them, if that's your jam. They're both kind of heavy on subtext. I feel like the subtext in Severance is stronger. The literal story is maybe less strong. It's kind of hard to say based on the amount that exists. Okay, so since the group of 4 in this column has to be up here, and we've started a new splotch down here, that's got to be the start of our next group down, which is exactly 3. So then, that being the case, this all has to be part of my one continuous group of 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that still doesn't get me anywhere. Favorite show from the last few years? That's really tough. So, like, favorite new show that's come out in the last few years? Not just, like, a show that's been on in the last few years? Gosh. I feel like there was something a couple years ago that was new that I really liked. Can't think of now. I know personally I'd put Schmigadoon really high. I think that came out in that time frame, Tiger King to now. I think the first season came out in like 2020. Yeah, Schmigadoon's another Apple show. I've been watching a lot of Apple shows because my mom got me a Apple TV gift card so I could watch Apple TV shows because they were the only new shows that were on. And we usually talk about TV shows, but there weren't any. So she very generously did that. So I've been trying out a bunch of them. I found more than one I did not love this week. But yeah, Schmigadoon is like the Apple TV Plus musical show. It's extremely good. It excels both as a musical in like the production values and the numbers and the lyrics. It's all great. It's all very top-notch, well done. But also the writing of the story is way beyond what I would expect for that show. And it's like trying to do something kind of like weird and difficult to begin with. So look at this column here. If this space was filled in, it would become a group of 4. There's only one group of 4 in this column, and there's only one filled in space below that. So it's not possible for this to be our group of 4, for numerous reasons, in fact. But that means that this space should be blank. And then, yeah, as I suspected, I think that means that this should all be continuous group of 4. And then that leaves only this space up here for the 2. Which is weird. This space being filled in means that it has to be part of my leftmost group of 2, since I can't fit one further to the left. So this space can't be anything, as a group of 2 could only reach to here. That then means... Huh. So having filled this in, that completes this group of 2 here, the leftmost group for that row. But now that all of these are voided out, I still need my top group to be 1. And then the only way to do that and still have the 4 up here is to separate them like this. So then, if you look at this row, that's our finished group of 4. Leftmost group here is 5, which would reach to at least this position. This is kind of set for now. If this space is filled in, that means this group of 5 goes out to there. In this column where I just put that X, the only groups larger than 2 are exactly 3. So I should know that with 2 consecutive spaces and no ability to go the other direction, this would be filled and that would be blank. Oh, you know what's a good show that started in the last few years? This isn't the one that I think I was thinking of. There's an anime called Bo Fury, with like the alternate / subtitle that is something to the effect of, I didn't want to take damage, so I put all my points in defense, or HP, or something like that. And it's like an anime about like a virtual reality fantasy game world, where basically the most powerful player in its existence is just this adorable little curious girl who just keeps like finding all these like secret insanely powerful effects and then like becoming like basically an unstoppable like destructive force, but having no will to be evil, just like some chill girl hanging out with her friends. It's like the funniest juxtaposition of stuff. I absolutely love that show. It's so funny. It's just like, it's like exactly the thing I want it to be. This row also has only groups of exactly 3 that are larger than 1. And since up here I have the start of a group of 3 that can only extend to an adjacent space, and I need another group up here, that means this should be filled, and then that would be my leftmost group of 2 there. 2. Okay, so in this column, there's only one group that's larger than 2, and I've already got a start to that. So a group above it, which I have the start to, would have to be exactly a group of 2. And then that space being blank tells me exactly how far down that group of 4 reaches. So nothing above that point could be filled in, although I do still need a 1 at the bottom. In this row, I only need groups of 5, which can't fit here, which means that this is how we finish filling in that group of 3. And then this column also needs this space filled in to make that group of 4, which finishes that group of 5, and then tells me that since this is my next group of 5, that has to reach to at least this point. I ever see Primal? Is that Jendy Tartakovsky project I've been seeing discussion of recently? Because I'd only heard of that when they talked about renewing it for Season 3 or something. So no, I have not seen that. Wolf down here? Down here, Wolf? That all appears to be nothing. And that's as much as I'm getting. Okay, so now that I've got this With 3 and all this blocked off. Should get, I guess, just 1 extra point of overlap, because the next group should be 6. It's possible it could be here, and even if it is, it reaches this far. And this column where I just put that block has only 2 groups in it, and they're both groups of 5. It wouldn't be possible to connect the group of 5 here, because that would instead make a group of 6. So this should be continuous. Now, anything that's more spaces away shouldn't be possible. Down here, though, I don't think that changes it. This should be blocked off. So now what if we look at that top row? With these spaces blocked off, I mean, this is 9 spaces total on the right of the X. So there's clearly no way to put the 5 and the 7 there, so that means the 5 should be to the left, and that gives me exactly the number of spaces that fit there. And then I can count all these top groups down. That's 1, that's 2, that's 2, that's 1, that's 1. So I said this was 9, right? Yeah, that looks right. And again, that's the top row, so I can count those down as the top groups. Top 2, 3, top 4. This would appear to be the end of the only missing group in this row, which is 5. So now that I know one of its endpoints, I can count out all the remaining spaces. Similarly, this is... Actually, the empty spaces constitute everything that I need, so everything just has to get filled in there. Since I have these X'd out, I can now isolate these partially filled in things as the top group for their respective columns. So this one's 1, and this one is filled in to be 2. But now that I have an endpoint for this, I also know that that should be filled in to make the group of 7 there. Now I can use this to count down the top 5 here, and the top group of 5 here, and the top group of 5 here. And this is also a finished group of 5 for the row. None of the spaces between here are filled in because 4 and 5 are the leftmost groups. This should be blank to finish that group for the row. I should be able to count this down using the wall principle. It's my second group, which is 3. I think this... 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, with this point in place, that's just the whole group of 9. Looks like the same here for this group of 6. And then, if we count down from this column, the next group I'm missing is 2, so this space should be blank, and then this would be the start of a group of 4. 2, 3, 6, 7. So that's a finished group. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a finished group, and then there's only 1 space to fill in. Was it Jen Garner? No, I didn't get around to that one yet. I tried watching Big Door Prize, which pretty much hate. I think I hate that show. It might get better, but I watched 2 episodes and I really didn't enjoy the experience. And I tried an episode of High Desert, and we'll probably give that at least 1 more episode, but, like, it didn't grab me. I think it's largely personal. It seems to be trying to say something I just really strongly disagree with, and the whole show really seems built around this philosophy that just, like, makes me upset to watch. So, like, yeah, I would say I personally hate it. I think it's really, really unpleasant to watch that show. It might get better, but, like, wow, did I not like it at all. So here, we started this group. This is 5. That space is blank to finish that group. Then we count that down. That's 4. Finish that group. Is it like 12 minutes and saying incest isn't so bad? No, it's not that extreme. It's basically just saying that, like, you should... Like, it feels like the whole show is, like, you should never be content with anything. It like, basically feels like a quiet, but, like, relentless support of, like, the mindset of, like, hustle culture, which I, like, absolutely, strongly do not like or agree with. So this has to be the start of my group of 9, which means these guys got to be filled in for that missing group of 2. And like it's to be clear, it's not like specifically about hustle culture, but like it supposes this world where like there is a way for you to be told what your fullest potential is. Like, no matter what stage you're at in your life, like, you could just, like, learn this thing, and, like, this force comes to this small town, and, like, everyone just upends everything that they're doing in the pursuit of something that they're told to do. I just, like, absolutely... like, all I could do is, like, spoil the 2 episodes, but, like, it wouldn't be worth it. It's just... I just did not like it. I just didn't like it. Like, there's only one character I found even a little bit likable, and, like, basically everyone in the town was calling that person insane for behaving normally. And I was like, good God. It's just, like, stop. Like, it stresses me out just thinking about it. I could not watch another episode of that show. Castlearg says, Vasco, your destiny is to play the non-raid games on Friday nights. I mean, the non-raid games are distinct from nonogram games. We may be coming back around on time to do Virtue's Last Reward. I've been debating this. Yeah, Chris O'Dowd's like the only likable character on that show, and like he cannot carry all the annoying things that the rest of the show is trying to do. Like, he's not bad in it, but everything else is horrible. So, like, no interest. So, we have the start of our group of 9. Similarly, it should be a 2 here. I don't know where it goes. Oh, I know that apparently I've finished both of these columns. That's kind of neat. And then I guess I need this group of 2, which then in turn finishes these columns. And then I guess I need this group of 2, which finishes these columns. And then it turns out that I need this group of 2, which may be noticing a pattern. So let's think about this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's that group of 9. And then here, this is overlap because I need 5 of these 6 spaces to be filled, and I just don't know which of top or bottom it is. I got the start of this group of 4, which goes to there. This is a group of 4 that I have a start point for, so it goes there, and the middle spaces are nothing. Next group in this row is 2, so it can't fit here, so that's nothing. Okay, I kind of have a start point for this 7. The overload principle tells me this might be viable, but then I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Yeah, I should have 6. So there's that. I'm just glad you're enjoying it. I feel like this is a tough game. I've played it for a long time, and I still kind of marvel that there's any number of people who are like, yeah, I got time on my Friday for this. I'm kind of glad to be done with it. Again, I didn't hate this game. I definitely got frustrated with it at many points, for various reasons. The hacking is bad. The story is weak, often to the point of being just, like, genuinely frustrating. The puzzles are pretty consistent. The only real disappointment with the puzzles is that, like, even when you're done with them, they don't necessarily look like anything. Well, that's pretty much like the highest compliment you could pay to a streamer, Demolition, is that you would watch them play like Desert Boss, essentially. So I appreciate that, but I genuinely think you're being too kind. I do wish I could remember what the... There was some show that came out like a year and a half ago or something that I was like so obsessed with. That I was like, this is my favorite show in so long. I can't think of what it is. Because it's been long enough now that I haven't thought about it in a while. So this is the start of our bottom group, which is 3. We can also count up these adjacent rows that reach all the way to the bottom. It's a 4. That's a 4. This is 2. This row now has the start of its last missing group, so we can count that all the way to the edge. So we should also be able to count over. This group should be 5. And then that leaves only the last space, which needs to be filled in. So I don't have this. Well, the bottom group for this column is 1. I wouldn't be able to fit both a 1 and the next group above this X. So I can really only fit the bottom, which means these spaces should be blank. Stuck again for the first time in a second. A lot of that sort of cascaded, because you get the corner and it sort of trickles down into the left, and then that gets shunted down into the right. Yeah, like there's something to that concept of high desert I'm kind of interested in. I might try a little more of it. The pilot was like really aimless. It like really didn't give a sense of what the show was like. The main character is pretty interesting, but like I agree with my mom's assessment in chat that like she's just so self-destructive that you're like, okay. Wait. I must be looking at something weird. That should be a group of 2. I think I was reading this column. I thought I needed a 3, which is why I added that space. So that's closed. This can't be part of the group of 3 I'm missing, so that leaves only the far right spaces. That lets me count up the next group up from the bottom, which is another 3. Since this is on the far right side, I get to count those as... Oh, it's 2. Wow, I'm not looking at the right thing anymore. It's tired o'clock. So this is just angles, by the way. This image just appears to be angles. I'm gonna take a wild guess here and assume that the solution to this puzzle is like a rubber stamp of a crown viewed close up but at an angle. Okay, so this is, now that I filled in that 1 space, this is a group of 3. I still need a space below it. And that apparently finishes this row. Oh, and this should be done too, right? Because I need both an individual 1 and finished 7. So that's all cool and good. So this is 5 spaces. There should be 3 among them in the column. So I get this point of overlap, which is one of 2 missing individual 1s filled in. Oh, this is done. Okay, so if that was done, then this is also overlap, which means that that should be part of the next group counting from the left, which is a 3. Which would fill this space regardless of whether it started here or not. That's apparently the last space for this column. That's good. And in this row, I still need 2 groups of 2. So one of them has to go exactly here, and then the other one fills this space. Just the bottom group missing from this column. I need 3 and a 1 here. 1, 2, 3. 1 space. 1, 2, 3. So those should be overlap for the group of 3 in this small confined space, which means I can count that over as my next group in line because it counts all the way to the edge. Here, I can't necessarily do that. It would be... Oh, no, wait. In this... I filled this out, so this space should be blank. This column is done. So is this. So with that being done, now I know that that is the group of 1, and I'm missing only a group of 2 that would overlap this space. And since that would also be part of the final group of 2 missing from this column, these things that couldn't connect as part of a group of 2 are not eligible. In this row, again, I find myself missing only a group of 2 out of 3 spaces, so this is filled. This can't be anything. Which then, for the far right column, means, yet again, one space is overlap for the possibility of a group of 2 out of 3 spaces. Filling that in finishes this row. So I need, in this column, I now need a 1 with a group of 2 below it. And with the spaces remaining, that means that this space has to be filled in. And yet again, I have an overlap out of 2 out of 3. That should finish this row, which then makes this the start of exactly that group of 3 I'm missing. Fills this in, finish this row, rolls this down, and it looks like it should be a group of 3 followed by a group of 2. And so this should be our last space of our last Murder by Numbers puzzle. It's a floppy disk, viewed at a different angle, that you can really only tell by looking at the color version. And even then, kind of, I actually think we would do it. I was really stuck there for a while. Anyway, that's been Murder by Numbers. Final words on the game. It's good. It's fun. If you like nonogram puzzles, you will enjoy it. If you don't, you will not. I don't think that the story is enough of a selling point to necessarily break the tie. Really kind of got to be in for those nonogram puzzles. What was the gift? I think they changed the Steam alerts because it didn't tell me what it was when that popped up. And I have to open the Steam window, which probably won't break the stream, but I don't know. Where do I find that alert? Because it used to kind of just like pop up and like hang out until you did something about it. Passive aggressively. Do you not have to confirm those anymore? I don't know how to do this anymore. They changed it and I'm too stupid. Literally, where do I go for this? Downloads. Green. I think I have to do this off stream. This is too dumb and embarrassing. I appreciate the gift, but like now they've changed how this works and I genuinely don't know how to find it. Oh, a green bell. Notifications. Oh, okay. Oh, it's fine. Well, I have Flower on the PS4/5. So I appreciate the sentiment, but I'm going to decline the generous gift because it will probably run better on that if I decided to stream it or something. But yeah, I actually don't know what I'm going to stream next week. I have an idea. I'm looking at it in Steam right now. It's something I kind of wanted to do for a little while now. I think that only takes an hour, though. Is there something else that would fill a stream as like a twofer? I might just have to check this offline. I have to think about it. It's probably a good idea to just kind of either do short stuff or like some kind of filler stream, because we do have the birthday break coming up. I'm excited to start a new game, although I don't immediately know what. I mean, Raincode is coming out soon. I think before I fully commit to doing it on stream, I want to see a little bit. I still haven't seen very much in the way of like gameplay trailers or anything, so even though I've been really excited about it, I'm a little hesitant to be like, yeah, let me just go in on like another unwatchable puzzle game for like 30 parts. But yeah, I've enjoyed this. I'm not entirely sure it was a wise decision. I'll say this. I don't think that Murder by Numbers is a very good stream game at all. If I weren't so stubborn, I probably wouldn't have played it for like 27, 28 parts or whatever. It's like a lot. It's like a lot of this game. Plus, I didn't do all the optional puzzles, but I'm quite certain that was the right call. I mean, we could revisit optional puzzles as some sort of filler thing at some point. I think I would like to take a break from the nonograms. I've enjoyed my experience, but I've also kind of had my fill, at least for now. Um, yeah. We'll have to figure that out. I really don't immediately know what to do. I would love to do Mega Bellum, but I absolutely think I would detonate my computer by trying. It really hated trying. I didn't even, like, record it. Like, literally just trying to, like, run the program with OBS open was like, absolutely not. Just no. I can't stress enough no. I gotta check that thing on my phone. I have so many, like, random game titles saved in, like, a document on my phone. It's, like, stuff to stream, and honestly, a bunch of it, I don't even remember what it is. I just write the titles down. Continuum will often suggest something, and I won't necessarily have time to vet it completely. I'll just, like, check a quick trailer and be like, that's a maybe. Sure. Anyway, I'll do this later. I'm just staring at stuff on stream. I should not do this. Yeah, it's been Murder by Numbers, is what it's been. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with it. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope that user Ditto Transform gets some closure from all the therapy generated by these inkblot tests. But yeah, before we complete the stream, take a look at this did not come out well. It's been a real oyster carnival today. I've not managed my time as well as I could or should have. So the couch kind of just looks like this. I wanted to put a bunch of Pokemon on it, and then realized I didn't really have enough Pokemon to, like, fill the couch. And then it just kind of looked like this. I don't know. Somewhere on this couch is hiding a secret Squirtle. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's gonna be pretty hard. It's a disaster out here. I'll tell you that this guy himself, he's not a secret Squirtle. Because you can see him. He's staring right at you. You're saying is you need more Pokemon. Listen. Need is a strong word. I don't have adequate storage for the plush friends that I currently have. This is a crisis that I'm having currently. My living space is small, and it doesn't support it. And I need to figure that out, and I don't want to figure it out because it's tough, and it makes me sad. We need a wider camera and a bigger couch. I mean, we kind of just need a bigger boat, you know? We kind of just need a bigger boat is, like, the thing. To be honest with you, I have 2 Pikachus that were going to be gifts to my sister, and then I found out that she had that exact Pikachu. And I know that she says that I'm an exception to giving her too many Pikachus because I'm basically the reason why she likes Pikachu. But, like, I'm not trying to make her life harder. So, like, I kind of just have these 2 Pikachus. I don't put them on the couch very often. But I do have them. Under the pirate. Which pirate castle are? There's a few things with pirate hats on them. So I'm not sure which one you're thinking of. We've got Hans the Porky Pirate. We've got Eevee with a pirate hat. We obviously have Squidbeard, although I suspect that's not the one. And then Donut Cat is currently wearing a pirate hat for fun. This guy. Okay. Orion. Okay. Yeah, Porky Pirate. I insist on calling him that because it's just a very good word. Also, I'm needlessly pedantic. It's a real problem. Let's check some of these, shall we? Joints! Anger! Standing is bad. Standing is bad for you. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Maybe. I don't know. Alright, what do we got? Well, I'll start over here. It's kind of a tricky prospect to hide things behind that pillow that you can kind of barely see, but it's been there forever. It's kind of, like, dilapidated. It's real squished. I should probably, like, washing pillows is a nuisance. So it's a real crapshoot if I ever hide anything back there. Not so much this time. But I'll show you this Porky Pirate. Sarah Rocks Aqua sent this to me last Halloween. She said I needed it. I was skeptical, but she was right. You can see his bristles, but they kind of just look like sprinkles. A couple guesses behind Pikachu. Big Pikachu is sort of concealing half of the concerned loaf. Which I suppose I could demonstrate because there was a guess under Vaporeon as well. Basically, everyone's chilling on top of this loaf. He's so worried. I feel bad for him. It's a big mood loaf. Guess. Inside the Rage Octopus. Hiding in there is little Lorenzo. He's actually been hiding in there for many weeks waiting for someone to guess. So he's probably a little mad at me. He's been inside that octopus for like a big long time. I love little Lorenzo. He's great. He's technically a Christmas ornament, which somehow makes him even better. And also, just look at his little feet. Just look at them. Look at the little feet. Okay. So let's see what's hanging out. This is not structurally sound. Togepi took some doing. So I wanted to prop Togepi up because when I set this up, he was just really sunk into the couch and it made it look even sadder. So I propped him up on. I don't think I can do this. This is fine. So he was leading on Gentleman Narwhal, who in turn had a smaller narwhal on top of him to help keep Meloetta up there. And then underneath was Ceratops the Triceratops. This was a whole mess. This was a real disaster. So I will reveal to you the location of the secret Squirtle, and as I said, it's a tough because secret Squirtle was hiding underneath this Drifloon and behind the Master Ball. Oh boy, he's small. Look at that little turtle. And now that the apartment is properly in disarray, I will thank you all for playing and for being here. In fact, thank you for being here. Thank you for being you, and I hope to see you again soon. Signing off for the conclusion of Murder by Numbers to pretty much the four of you here and no one else. I can't imagine anyone watching this on YouTube. Like I said, don't know exactly what we'll be doing next week. It'll probably be fun. It might be more visually engaging than a series of nonogram puzzles. But we'll do something. Tomorrow we got Disco Elysium. I feel like I'm stuck in that game, so like I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. Hope to see you again soon, and whether that is tomorrow for Disco Elysium or sometime in the future when we're playing Raincoat or some other thing, I want you to take care of yourselves and remember that you are Clawsome. Good night, everybody.